This is a Broken Reel Media production, and this is the Something's Wrong Here podcast. We are here on November 6th, so if you know what that means when we're recording, it is the day after the election, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that, a little recap and stuff. I'm Randy. I'm here with my co-hosts.
I'm Ken-zee.
No, I'm Brian.
So it is the day after the election, and a lot of tears have been cried, a lot of cuss words have been spoken, and we are now here.
Yeah.
Either way you look at it, technically, Donald Trump's political career is over.
It will be.
We know a definite, well, not a definite date, but we know a date that it will not go past.
There you go.
Well, no, remember, he's gonna. It's the last election we're ever gonna have.
Yeah,
that's what I heard. That's what I read on the internet. So
I did read on the internet today that there will be a full government takeover. A dictatorship has been already announced.
I did want to say something just really right off the cuff and quick. I know that maybe the assumption was going to be that conservatives as a whole are going to be this gloating mass of assholes. Mm-hmm. And I do want to say that, I mean, I just, am kind of in some of these circles of discussion, and the ones who I thought would be real dicks were actually fairly magnanimous, were nice and polite, and, well, polite in a relative term. Yeah. I mean, they weren't dancing around the hat going, fuck you, but they were more gracious than I expected them to be.
I saw a very confusing one, and that was the older Christian lady who was very, very sad to see Missouri pass yes on 3, but hopefully she was hoping that her choice, Trump, would come through and solve that. And I kind of was baffled by that, because it seems like what Trump did was put that back on the state. The state put that into...
And Trump has also came out several times and said he would never sign a national abortion ban into law.
So I was just a little confused by the person who chose that and also didn't understand that. That's one of those where it throws me for a little...
Man, I've seen both sides of that today, where it's just, honestly, for content tonight, I literally just opened up Facebook and started scrolling.
Yeah, I agree.
And it did not take long, and I was not disappointed.
Gift that keeps on giving.
Facebook today...
Wait. You went to the internet. Everything's true there. Randy.
It's true.
Randy,
well, that's why I've got good content.
You saw that's a lie there. Everything is true on the internet. I read that on the internet. God damn it.
Free material, man.
It had a website.
It did. What did it end with? Dot
XXX.
Douche. Dot XXX.
Dot go fuck yourself.
Now that is a government. That's got to be true.
Geo.
Sorry, is that a Giphy or a Jiffy?
It's a GIF.
Oh, it's a GIF?
It's a GIF.
No, it's not.
Oh, you like peanut butter, huh?
I'm pretty sure
it's a GIF.
Is it a GIF? Are you sure?
Equally.
I thought it's pronounced GIF.
Well, I guess it's an acronym. Just means graphic interface.
But I think the actual...
All right, hit us with
it should be a G.
Questions.
I don't know why.
It's GIF.
It is a G.
I don't know why I was thinking GIF.
It's because you're an idiot.
Because some stupid idiot said it on the internet once, and I probably heard it, and it stuck.
You read it, and you were like, obvious.
That person made a very compelling argument for why it's a GIF. GIF like the peanut butter.
Right?
Do you prefer your GIFs to be creamy or crunchy?
I'm a creamy guy.
Creamy and honey.
That sounds good. That's different.
You've never had the honey peanut butter?
No, I have had a peanut butter and honey sandwich.
You are missing out,
Really
sir.
good.
Really
good.
still going with this, huh?
I'm still going with it.
Still gonna die if I eat them.
I mean, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. I'm not going to die if you eat it.
I didn't know you were allergic to peanut butter.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking he was allergic to honey for some reason, but he's allergic to everything.
Should brought the peanut butter beer
Get to the real. All right, we got to get to the real, because no one wants to hear you not know about me not dying from honey.
I like when mom and dad argue. That's the funny part. Dad and mom argue.
Oh, wait, now you're the dad? That's sexist.
I told you that yesterday. Yep.
After this election, you just assumed.
But Randy does have those sweet jeans.
Well, no, I mean, because gay male couples, sometimes play a role, right?
And that's why you're both on that side of the table. You both have your role to play.
Just two guys who couldn't find the clue.
And whatever your role play is, I don't want to know.
Well,
but
let's say that now.
So let's talk locally. So Missouri, we're going to do a little recap on the election and everything. So Missouri, which kind of shocked me, narrowly passed the online sports betting. That being said, I think it was it Caesars? They put like 14 million or something like that into trying to stop it from happening, which everybody's like, well, why that? Well, the law, it regulates how many, what they call skins. So you're only allowed so many basic entities that are allowed to sports gamble. Well, if you throw one into a arena, a sports facility, that gives you a +1. So that leaves you with like 4. They've got multiple facilities in the state, and they've got multiple online, so they would pretty much be shit out of luck on about half of their investments in the state. So they're just like, well, we can't have it all, we're just going to stop it. We're going to try to stop it.
Wah, wah, wah.
We're going to take our ball and go home, damn it.
Did you play a sad trombone upwards in scale?
Wah, wah, wah. Maybe
I think you
talked
did.
it. Wah, wah, wah.
So
Or how about dun, 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 dun. Remember?
There you go. Well, the
right.
wah, 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 I was thinking, it gives you wings.
I got buttons over here. I can just make all the noises I want.
Nope.
That was a weird one.
Randy's our best producer we've got. If anyone has a resume, please
Best
send them in.
producer we've ever had.
Best one you've ever had.
Yeah.
He actually did win producer of the month for October.
Best bald producer we've ever
All
had.
right, so
Didn't win September, though, which kind of pissed me off.
Well.
sad too because we didn't even have one. So
Yeah.
I know.
You got DQ'd.
I did. It's bullshit. So we have practically a two-party system.
Yeah.
We've got Democrats, Republican. That's all that really matters when you come to the polls. Yes, you can say you have a choice. You can go Libertarian, Independent, Green Party, and all that stuff. What is your thoughts if we actually backed a third party, built it up to the same? Would it give us more choice? Would it give us some variety?
I don't know. I have to see what the platform is. I mean, the platform really makes a difference. If you're wanting to say that the Green Party or
I would say Libertarian would probably be the one that would probably have a chance to get up there.
Libertarian would probably get stomped out pretty quick by the GOP just because you're treading the same ground. It's a Venn diagram that covers a lot of the same ground.
Oh yeah, both sides it covers. I mean,
Democrats usually hate libertarians. You're just a conservative. You're just a conservative who doesn't want to commit to being conservative. It's like but that's the problem with
Didn't a bunch of dumbasses call them rhinos recently?
No,
that's old people.
That's Republicans in name only.
Right.
Who like non-MAGA Republicans essentially.
They're just the old ones that have been there for their whole damn life.
That's what I mean. It seems like
melty face McConnell.
Yeah, that's one of them.
I call him Freeze. This is his nickname to me.
He looks
Freeze.
like he looks like a bald chinian, like the real definition of like a 95-year-old bald chinian, just a fucking ball sack up there.
Bald chinian. That's great.
Bald chinian, huh?
Like I would assume he had
chin,
like
man.
a testicular lift to get his eyes visible again and get his eye.
Well, I kind of always look like a underdog droopy dog. Droopy dog, because he's got the jowls that come down.
You apologize right now to that character.
That's
an insult to the character. of Droopy
well,
Dog.
yeah, you're probably right.
Is there anybody who I didn't even look into a lot of it, but is back in it that probably shouldn't be because they're on their deathbed?
Are you asking if there are people of elected government official status that are too old to be there?
That are old balls.
Oh, yes.
I mean, legally, no, but I mean, if you're over 80, you probably shouldn't be running still.
Well,
I'll say it this way. If my dad can't be chief of police today at his age, probably shouldn't.
Well, then don't police aren't there's like mandatory
There's
age maximums, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
so there's a way
60,
to set a
60 or
mandatory
65.
age maximum?
Yeah, I think so. Well,
Wait a minute.
depending.
No. Because we have a document that's really old. If we were to change it, that would be like an amendment.
Well, the hard
Amendment?
part about changing things like that is the people that put it in place, the power structure that's had that in
That's
place.
what I was going to say. It has nothing to do
It's
with
entrenched for a
like
long
we
time.
could get it changed fairly easily, and I think most people would agree it probably needs to happen. But at the same time, you're asking the same people that make it happen to vote themselves out of a job.
Would you? Okay, can I ask you a
You're
question?
asking them, with term limits, you're asking them to basically fire themselves.
And
Yes.
then
Age
tell 'em-
limits, you're asking them to fire
Yes.
Then
themselves.
tell them there's no lobbyists, and it's like, well, shit, that's what we do after we. That's what we do.
You lose
after
your
they retire
credentials, and
us.
there's no more lobbying.
Point to the one that's not rich.
Yeah, no
I
shit.
can't.
Okay. Now, going back, I got a question for you guys.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Let's talk constitutional amendments. Stupid ones, okay?
Sure.
Would you guys vote yes or no to take all politicians off of social media?
No.
I would say that.
Like, they can have official publications and stuff that can be released, but like the politician cannot be on social media screaming their.
That's tough because I don't think. I mean, even if
that kind of violates the first.
Even if it's an official account for whoever, if you're a big enough politician, there's like a 0.5% chance that it's actually the politician.
Here's what I would say. I would say no, and the reason I'm saying no is because 99.9% of the time, and I'm going to throw some famous people in there too, that they will out themselves with something stupid before they sway anybody with their social media account.
Hence the reason why politicians, most of the time, it's just a staffer that's doing it.
All right, so it's a bad constitutional amendment. I get that. But
sure,
would social media be better if politicians weren't on it?
I don't think it matters.
I think social media would be better if it didn't exist.
Oh, I like that
That's
too.
Probably true.
I'm not shitting you. I mean, I don't get me wrong.
I think social media,
but I wouldn't have all the content I do for tonight.
It's true.
So
true. God damn it! I knew there was a rub.
I think there's a clash with social media and free speech.
Well,
I struggle with that one.
Well, explain how.
Yeah.
Like what? I'm assuming you're leaning more towards you do not think they should be on
What's the difference between, say, the person, say the older cat that stands down in downtown Lee Summit at what is it, like 2nd and Douglas, that preaches? I mean, what's the difference between that guy doing that and somebody posting on social media? Because that guy's reach is pretty big down there in the corner.
Can I play it a little bit more specific to you guys real quick?
Sure, yeah.
We'll take politics out. Randy, you go in tonight and you go into a movie theater, and after the movie starts, you scream fire.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
Brian, you go home tonight and you go onto social media, and this is for historical. You remember when Morgan Freeman was supposedly dead and it was all just a fake article?
Oh, yeah. John Goodman also is one who's died like 5,000 times.
Yeah. You go out and put out a fake article on, basically fake kill somebody.
Sure.
You just fake killed somebody, which could have some pretty serious ramifications to somebody's day.
Yeah.
And you yelled fire.
His
potentially no one got hurt.
The motive is totally different.
But I could walk into the theater and scream that, somebody had died, and then people are getting the message the same way. I mean, it's all technically covered under the First Amendment and stuff. Is it stupid? Yeah. Are people doing that?
Oh, yeah.
It's for the clicks and the traffic and the ads.
But that's the problem. That's the problem.
Illegal?
I would say illegal. No. Does it violate
fire in a movie theater?
Well, that's illegal. But that's putting people in harm.
Can do on social. Well,
saying somebody died doesn't put somebody's life at risk.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you just agree it could put your day in harm if someone were to say you were dead?
I'm gonna give you a shit. I mean, might potentially give your parents a bad day, or
you're.
But they're gonna call me first and be like, "Hey, you dead?" No, I just answered.
Could you post something on social media right now that would hurt somebody pretty bad, put someone in danger?
Yeah, you could do. I'm sure. Yes, I would say yes.
I mean, unless
that's pretty hypothetical.
Swatting somebody or doxing somebody, which are the motive is bad
I'm not
faith
trying to go
all
fighting,
the way down.
Fighting all the way here.
Well, no, but you always.
If I'm going to post somebody's a dickhead, no, it's not going to hurt anybody.
But it could hurt them.
Okay, you asked the question.
Because people are babies.
Because they didn't get their safe space.
And they have thin skins.
And their teddy bear.
Yes.
Freedom of speech.
I'll send them an ice cream gift certificate, and they can eat it in their corner and have their safe space.
So, freedom of speech exists on the internet.
Not necessarily. I mean,
technically, no. I mean, freedom of speech does not exist on the internet because you're using a platform and you have to agree to their user agreements, which supersedes freedom of speech because you're agreeing to use their space.
So if you had a platform that opened up freedom of speech, like one that got bought and then opened up,
terms of service are always going to be tough with that.
Terms of service, but yeah,
I'm asking in the general concept. There's a lot of illegal speech out loud physically in public.
Yeah.
In social media terms, you can pretty well go say whatever you want on the internet if you find the appropriate place that has the rules that fit your.
You can do that in public too.
The penalties. I mean, it's just a situational thing. The penalties are different.
Can I say something bigoted and expect me to get away with it? No. Nowadays, people, you use that information. Go to your work, find where you work, find where you live, dox you.
And if I yelled at in downtown Lee Summit, I'd probably get my ass kicked.
There's different ramifications for each platform.
Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out
fits that perfect, because you do it online, you're probably going to get doxxed in some way. You do it in public, you're going to at least confrontation maybe hit.
It goes back to what Jason said. It's social media is too many people saying whatever they want, free speech, and not getting punched in the face for it.
No, that was Chris Long, Kyle Long and Chris Long. He was talking about Jason Kelsey, and
I'm talking about Jason.
Jason Eggers did say that.
It's just funny that that came out today. Is that
with him smashing the phone?
Kyle Long got on and he said, "Hey."
That's Kyle Long, Howie Long's son.
It's his son.
Yeah,
and he played for the Chiefs for a season or something.
Yeah, both his kids played.
Never played much, but he basically said it's a. He used to fuck around and find out to kind of verbalize what his thought was, but he said that you have entirely too many people that are not aware of real life penalties for your actions. And the guy's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, honestly, too many kids have not figured out what it's like to get punched in the fucking face. Sometimes you run your mouth. Mm-hmm. I mean, I tell this to I tell it to my daughter sometimes when she gets like lippy. I'm like, man, you do this shit with a kid at school. You'd be lucky if you don't get punched in the nose, and you're not going to like it. You may learn a lesson from it. It may change your life, but you're not going to like it. Getting punched in the face, no bueno. It's not good.
And let's just say you get in a fight.
Thank you for the wisdom.
Not a big fan. Man. Not a big fan. Hadn't happened for a long time. Still not a big fan.
If you ask anybody,
oh really,
especially people who have been in street fights and stuff, or bouncers and stuff, no fight's a good fight. You can come away without being hurt.
Oh, yeah.
But 99% of the time, even if you're hitting somebody, you're going to hurt your hand.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get hit a few times. You're going to fall. You're going to do something.
What are you talking? The movies, the people that deck people with bare knuckles, it doesn't look like it hurts at all.
I bounced for 5 years, and every fight hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Some are better than others.
Even if even if you're the one doing all the hitting and not getting hit at all, it still hurts.
It still hurts. I mean, I've been in fights before, people trying to fight me just drunk and stupid, and it just, I've walked away 90% of the time fine, but you still have bruises, you still have cuts. No fight is fun.
No.
And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that
no physical, real, in-person fight is what you're saying is fun. Yeah. People love to fight on social media.
They do.
Because they have free speech and no one converts each other with keyboards.
You have the keyboard warrior syndrome.
The free speech argument is not a great one. I think
I'll stop with the free speech, but people say whatever they want online.
Well, I'm just more of a believer that they think that somehow the keyboard and the system in front of them gives them anonymity. And we talk about this all the time.
If you're on the internet today in 2024 and you think you can remain anonymous, you better be fucking good at the internet.
Yeah, you better.
Well, another thing is,
really
I think
good at the internet,
and I've seen it. It's not just that I think, I've seen it.
Because Ken-zee's hunting for everybody. I'm telling you.
I am so sick of hearing all about everything right now. I'm so tired of all of it.
I'm with you. But
people think I eat babies, and people also think that I don't care about humans because I like my money to be mine sometimes.
Right? Fucking hate. You just hate people, dude. It's all about you.
Like I just. Oh my god! It's what the.
It's exhausting. But what I was trying to say is that I've seen it in real life play out, that people think they're untouchable online, and people get a hold of their information. I've seen instances where somebody said that they literally had canceled multiple meetings that day to go protest somebody's job.
Oh, Jesus.
In person. Like, that is how much money and time we have.
How do you fix it? Is it possible to do something like literally charge people a quarter for every time they post something?
Can I tell you how they actually...
I think you should have to pass an IQ test to reproduce would be a good thing.
Here's what I'll tell you, and it's not the perfect fix.
Logic.
I don't agree with the perfect fix. However, it's conception. I get it, and we'll talk about the book, right? So the book came about, and originally you had to have a college ID to get on it.
Yeah,
and I was allowed access because my brothers hooked me up so that we could talk. Literally just so we could stay in communication. Because this was back when like your minutes cost you and texts weren't free no matter what. There wasn't an unlimited plan.
Yeah.
So
That was a long time ago.
it was a long time ago. Thank you. My brothers are old as fuck. If they
old
either
balls.
hear this, they'll let me know. But long and skinny of it was that. Yeah. I had one because I was able to talk to them. And then what happened? Money got involved.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was, well, how much money can get involved? How big can it get? How much money can it get? And that's when it took from an EDU or whatever applicable email address was required to anyone. Literally anyone. Yeah. And I mean, right now, if you wanted to go sign up 6 spoof accounts, you fucking could.
With your Yahoo or your AOL account.
Well,
AOL.
how quick can you go create your fake Yahoo to then create your fake Facebook? And take any stock image and put it as your fake profile picture.
Quite quickly.
Almost immediately.
30 seconds.
Sure.
Why is that? Oh, is it based on potentially like user count might be factored in on money, or like clicks might be a gain for money?
It's all data harvesting.
Yep.
Yeah. And so nowadays
Analytics,
you get people,
man.
well, again, social media, in my opinion, is where you get the fame from viral moments.
Yeah.
Large views on.
That's what I'm
short
saying.
videos.
I still go back to the bad
Look at all these
incentives
old
thing.
trends that went through the news, like people running around just knocking out old people, taking like a 1-minute selfie video of it and then posting it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And multiple people end up with murder charges. I think
that's
happened a couple times in New York.
Those
where
are
they
fuck around, find out moments too.
Okay,
Rarely
most
do those
recently,
people become famous.
Most recently, go write yourself a check,
That's the-
put it in the
I was about to
fucking
say.
in the ATM,
Fucking bank.
and it's
Jesus.
like,
You
all
go
right,
pull it out
Okay,
before
wait a
it
minute,
clears.
wait a minute. What the?
Hate to tell you.
Where are we at?
I mean,
Where are we
they'll-
at, guys?
They'll let you do that, but I mean,
Is
it's
this some
They will let you
dystopian
do it.
fuck all?
if
because
it
it
bounces,
is.
you're gonna pay more. Put it that way.
Oh yeah, pay dearly. I mean, that is a class. I don't know what felony, but it's a felony, and
Yeah,
it's
they
bank
could-
fraud,
Let
and
me
it's
ask-
check fraud,
let
and
me ask you
it's.
this. If the first person that did that took the video, the OG poster, and I don't know the actual data here, I don't know the information, I didn't research this. If that first person did that and had the money in the bank and did all of it as a horseshit for views,
That's hilarious.
It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't. I mean, everything online's fake.
but let's go back a step.
But it was a known issue that
You
Chase
just
did know about ahead
you
of
just
time.
caused a lot of people pain and suffering. Now, are they stupid for what they did? In my opinion, uneducated, uninformed.
No,
yes.
don't do this. But what if I told somebody to go put their microwave on 3 minutes and throw a fork in it and watch it shrink?
Well, let me ask you this: if the first person that posts it,
It will not shrink. Your house will catch on fire. Do not do
You're
it.
gonna blow up your microwave.
and now you're
That
covering
is your-
us
that
because
is your-
we almost thought about money once in this podcast.
Dang it.
Still up to like what 6 views? Your mom watching 6 times?
Fuck
Yeah.
that, dude. I was gonna go out and put a fork in the microwave.
But okay, so
It turns
like,
this big.
Let me ask you a question. In my opinion,
A lot of pieces that big.
in my opinion,
And so does your house become this big in a lot of pieces everywhere.
Oh shit.
I hate this fucking podcast.
Told you.
Fair enough.
In my opinion, the first poster, no matter how
Innocent, humorous.
it might be at the end of the day to some of us, it's kind of fucking nefarious. And like,
All right, let me ask you this.
it's nefarious, especially if like you play a ploy. I mean, if the person that posted that had the money the whole time and didn't get hurt, didn't
Clicks
have
are
it-
clicks, dog.
And the thing about it is, that right there to me is like,
Let me ask you this. Do words, I mean, essentially, yes, they can hurt your feelings, but do words hurt?
Words are violence, man.
No, they're not violent. Not today.
words don't physically cause you pain, but I will say in today's era, the right words spoken can do some damage to people.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
I mean, and the only reason I say it is think about how many
Can unlock some shit. So, yeah, I mean, I
Do
understand
me a
it.
favor. Pull out.
But
your,
it's not going to kill you.
pull out your wallet. We go on play a game. Give me 3 seconds to look at your credit card, and then I'll say words that don't hurt you out loud onto this podcast, and we'll see what the fuck happens.
Well, that's insured for
It's
one.
insured,
For
yeah.
two,
I can
it's
just shut the card
fraud. For three,
But would that,
it's not gonna hurt me now.
How is it fraud? I gave it away.
Doesn't matter.
it's still my information. You can't give out
if
that
somebody,
information.
If somebody used it,
If you hand me your credit card
and you
I
gave it to
then-
somebody and they used it,
No,
even
no,
if
no,
you
no,
used
no,
it.
no, I'm not giving them.
Even
your
if
credit
you
card.
if you read the letters out loud and somebody did a purchase that was not him, it would be against the law. It'd be
It's
credit
against
fraud.
the law?
Yeah, it's credit card fraud.
Now, is it credit card fraud against me?
No.
Or is it credit card fraud against who does it?
The person who does it.
So the person who says it all out loud
No, because
gives all the fucking leads the
that's-
horse to
dude,
water.
That's the First Amendment.
This is a fucking fundamental thing, man. Your arguments, and you do this a lot. I'm telling you, you remind me of John, a guy I work with. He will fucking find the littlest bullet point to prove you like that isn't always like that. You think it's always like that? It's not always like that. But I'm gonna be the asshole. I'm gonna sound like the Mr. Conservative here.
You're definitely an asshole.
We have fucking gone so far away from the idea of personal responsibility that we are not we. I wouldn't do it. Like the first thing, the people that got busted or end up owing their bank a bunch of money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absurd how much the crowd, not even the people who did it and got busted, but the crowd reaction is like, well, fuck that guy for telling. No. If you fucking went and did it.
Yeah.
That guy did not fucking put his hand up your ass and walk you like a puppet into the fucking bank to do it. He didn't.
Well, here's another thing too.
does the
If the
person
bank
who says
puts,
it all-
Can I put my hand?
You can fist me if you want.
Ass
Does
puppet.
the person who says it all out loud like that, and the only reason I ask it,
free speech.
it's free speech.
I'm just gonna wrap that up. It's free speech.
Yep. Wrap it
and
up.
I'm with it, baby.
Can we go to
So another thing is that I wanted to say, the bank, they can drop $50,000 in your account on accident. If you spend it, you owe that money back. That is not your money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fine print that goes into that shit to cover their ass, because trust me, it's happened more than once, and they're not going to let it slide.
drawing that $1 million.
The house always wins. I've heard.
The house always wins.
Well,
Is that in banking or is that? Oh no, it's not in banking. The
unless you
banks
file
always
for
give it back.
bankruptcy.
It's the casinos that always win.
Casinos? Because I think that's a misleading quote there too. Because there are gamblers that absolutely win.
There is
on the average, but the house over time.
Would
always
you
wins.
describe the majority of gamblers as always winners?
No.
Oh.
No.
So you have
enough
your outliers.
time.
The house will come back and even it out.
If you give it a, you may hit big, and you may come up a winner if you hit like $1 million jackpot.
My point is, like, there are great poker players that over.
But you're not playing the house
over 10 years. Okay, blackjack players.
Okay, yeah.
There are players. I mean, my brother dealt blackjack for 15 years. It was like his side hustle. He's a math guy. He loved the numbers. He said there are people that absolutely came in there and clean house.
Oh, I believe it.
So-
but there's 5 people next to him that made up more than.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's and he well, to be fair to what you're saying, the effect that he would talk about was that the guy wasn't. It's a group thing. I mean, there's an element of like he doesn't think that those players could walk in and just play the dealer and win.
Probably not.
Because my head says because he could count cards too. Like even with a huge deck, he could do that because he's fucking bright enough.
You're not getting through the deck at a large enough scale.
Yeah.
To offset the number you.
But
need.
if you're sitting with 6 people, you can blow through some cards if you're paying attention to what everybody else has.
Absolutely. But another thing is too, there was like, well, there's sports betting. You can just keep betting on a good team. Well, what people don't know is that you might have, let's just say, MGM and Caesars. They are, I don't know if they're under the same umbrella or not. But either way, you have 2 casinos. You go in and you place a $10,000 bet on the Chiefs. And let's just say they're playing the Cowboys.
That's a safe bet.
That's a safe bet right there.
Good bet. I'll take that bet.
And I bet.
Good boys.
And I bet $9,000 on the Cowboys. So now there's a $10,000 or $1,000 deficit.
Difference, yeah.
So what'll happen is you played it on Caesars, I did it on MGM. Caesars will give $500 worth of bets to MGM. Now they both have $9,500 on it.
Yeah.
The loser gets a 10% fee tacked on.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's all casinos care about. They pass off their bets to make everything flat. And that's why the spread changes, because they need people to offset one side or the other. And once they get that, they don't care. They just want your 10%.
Absorb this shit. We're learning, Ken-zee. We're gonna learn. We're gonna learn how to beat that sports betting. Yes.
Oh,
if I can hear you, I can't hardly hear you.
So yes, they care about is their 10% vig.
If you want to sit back, just extend it out.
Trust me, the house is always rigged to win. What roulette's like 34 to 1 or something like that odds?
Okay, I got a little bitch about roulette. I've been to Vegas once. Okay. I lost someone else's $100. It was the best time. But
That is good when it's
I took
somebody
that
else.
100 in roulette.
Oh, yeah.
And we went and we got hot. And then we started getting a little cocky with it, right? We were up a 400, 500?
13, everything.
No. I was still playing my logical bets. And I was up hundreds. Dealer throws green. Okay. Wipe out $100,
They'll usually
$150.
wipe the table.
People put their bets out. Dealer throws green. Wipe out another about 150. Now we're down to like the 200 or so. We're up 100 on what we were. No fucking way he does it 3 in a row. We
Bet
go
on
in.
it. Bet on it.
I'm not fucking kidding you.
I wonder if there's magnets underneath those tables.
We both looked at each other, and the table was getting hot. Like, this was it wasn't like the movies, but it was a small crowd, and there was money on that table.
Yep.
3 in a row on green. And the
What are
thing
the odds
is,
of that happening?
that dealer, when he threw that ball, the second time, the
2 of them
between second and third time I watched,
32,
and I watched where he flicked the ball, and I watched where he flicked the ball again. They're good at what they do.
Well, you could. The only way it could be done is if there was a
I'm not saying he's perfect.
electrical or a magnetic system that
Timing wise, you'd need that.
I'm saying
I don't think you could manually do it.
you couldn't manually do it.
Find
no.
me the statistician who throws that calculation out there and pulls it off where it just
Well,
really makes
I mean,
sense.
you can
to
easily
fit
do it. It's
many
3
spots are
times
there?
in a row of
It's,
1 in 32. I
32
think.
spots, 32 times 32 times 32 is just an exponential.
Yeah.
32 cubed.
All right, I'll give you guys everything I own. Everything I own if you can do it 3 in a row.
Well,
I mean,
I could afford
can.
it. I could definitely afford everything you own if I hit that bet anyway.
Right?
Put
But
$1,000 on it, you got some money.
think about that.
Shit,
Though, like
man.
so we're just talking about like
Let it ride
real
3
talk.
times?
Roulette. This is the one time I've been to Vegas. Once, and it happened 3 in a row on a table we were up hot on, and it was just one of those where it was like,
Well,
we left.
Actually, to take that back, specifically, if you look at it as a linear, the odds are not very good. But in roulette, it has a 1 in 32, I believe, or 34. I don't know if that's. I think there's 32 numbers.
It'll be around 28,000 to 1.
Is it about 28,000 to 1? But technically, every spin is 1 in
It's just
32,
1 in 32. Yeah.
and that's how they tell you that.
About 3.25%.
Yeah. So
Now,
I mean,
but to my knowledge, the wheel's spinning at a constant speed.
correct.
So if the dealer is pretty consistent and has the timing right,
There's
That's
no
a
way.
level of
it spins
precision.
way
It is,
too
right?
fast.
That's a
and that's where I get.
And it does not spin the same because it's manually.
So let me get this straight then, because in my brain I've got a fucking conspiracy theory. Because that goddamn dealer wrecked my shit. We were up hot and we got the Vegas itch, and I kept in it. Why?
Just sit out a spin.
That's
man.
Vegas, man. That's Vegas.
But I'm not kidding.
taste.
It was just one of those fucking things where you're like, you leave, you go in and you're having a good
Oh, yeah,
time.
you leave defeated.
And I left with a conspiracy theory. I left and I'm like, security's drag me. Not really, but I'm walking out just like that motherfucker 3 times on green. 3 times on green.
Allegedly.
The only way it would be possible is if there was a trigger and a magnet.
And to
I
be
don't
fair,
think there
even
is.
the dealer, whoever's spinning it,
I don't think it's legal. They would be in a lot
Oh,
of
you'd
trouble
be
if they were
fucked.
doing
You'd be
it with
fucked.
I
the
don't
gaming
think
commission.
he had it. I just genuinely
Excuse me.
think the
pardon me.
mathematical odds of watching it occur in front of me with witnesses was one of those just like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's
I've watched a dealer hit blackjack like 4 times in a row. It's like
that's
what
the weird randomness of life.
You sit
man.
at a table long enough, you'll see. Some
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're
anomalies.
giving a gift away to the person who comments the most money they've lost in Vegas. It's a small gift, but it's not going to make up for your losses.
I've got buddies I know that've
It's
lost
really
in the 30s
small.
to 40s.
It's a good gift.
And you probably won't want it.
oh gosh.
Yeah, my thing is I know some people who probably lost 45K and they don't want a gift.
Yeah. No,
They're doing just fine without your gift.
Yeah.
Well, let me
gonna be
rephrase.
pretty
If
sure
they
it'll be
put
okay.
a comment on, at least they might get a beer or something out of it, like a 4-pack.
I don't know where would you get a beer from? Where'd you get a 4-pack from? Do we know any people that own breweries?
We got some peoples.
We got some peoples. So first off, I said earlier that
I don't know anybody
we
that
scrolled through. I scrolled through Facebook just to get some content and stuff. The amount of misinformation out there is just ridiculous. First of all,
Hey, Colin,
Birds aren't real.
can we go back? Let's go. Okay, so where are we going to move? Because we only went over sports betting.
yeah,
We didn't go over Amendment 3. We didn't go over Amendment 7. We didn't go over any of that.
What was Amendment 7?
Was amendment? I thought Amendment 7 may have been the riverboat. Riverboat. We should
the
not.
casino.
That was 5.
5. Okay. What
Five
was
was
7?
casinos.
7 minimum wage or 6 minimum wage?
6 or 7 was minimum wage, and 6 or 7 was the voting.
No non-citizen voters, and no ranked choice voting. Which we had some talks. Like my wife and I discussed that last night. Why ranked choice voting could be a good or a bad thing. And
everything can be a good or a bad thing.
Well,
I would say ranked choice would be bad because you could have literally somebody drop out.
Well, you could also have 4 people running, 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, and the top 2 are Democrats, so that way Republicans don't get a choice.
Have you guys ever seen some math broken out on this though? If you have 6 candidates running and they do you rank by numbers.
Yeah.
You can actually have a lesser candidate get a bigger split and take over the dominancy by secondary
which
people.
is never a good thing either.
I think that's...
Well, again, to me, it skews it in a way that is difficult, and it's a complex situation. It's a complex situation that I don't have the right answer for.
So that was like, I'm gonna say this probably several times tonight because it's the nature of politics. Maybe that too. I prefer grizzled wisdom and experience, but a lot of the problem when you're talking about stuff like that, and you're talking about these. Okay, the bills are long. Okay, they're very verbose. They're super wordy. They're highly technical, written in legal language that most people can't fucking translate anyway.
Good luck going to read like an amendment in the fucking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good luck trying to get somebody to really understand what's happening.
The legal mumbo jumbo and word,
because you can't take this wall of text and condense it to 2 sentences, and
let alone something that people understand.
And then you get people who are reflexive believers of what they read on the internet because it seems legit. This seems believable. I mean, I had to have the same talk with my mom about sports betting. They're not going to give any tax dollars to the.
It's literally written into the amendment that it has to.
And I told her what the talking point was. She had no idea what it was. I said, Mom, the point of the anti-betting people is they're trying to put forth this truth. I mean, they're trying to make it like this is what's going to happen. That if you win, no, it was if you lose. So if you lose, you take your $5 bet and you lose your bet. We'll give you $20 in free bets.
They do.
The idea is that the $20 can offset their tax liability or their income.
No.
So technically, this is what they were being told, though, was that if you could, what was going to happen is if people lose, they're just going to give away millions and millions in free bets. It's like, hold on.
As a degenerate gambler.
They have to pay out those free bets.
As a degenerate gambler myself, first of all.
I'm glad I didn't have to call you that myself.
As a degenerate gambler myself, first of all, yes, you sign up there. They promise you like 200. It depends on how much you put in originally. Yep. Then to get your $5 in free bets, you have to spend like $500. They release like 50 cents at a time for like every $100 that you spend in bets.
It was a volume game, you're saying?
It's a volume game. So they're not just giving you $5 to offset your $500 deposit.
They gave you 10 50-cent bets.
They get 10
50-cent credits, I guess.
Pretty much. And then they will give you certain criterias if they're met on a daily basis. They give you like 3 usually.
Dude, we are learning about winning money and gambling,
right?
from Randers, man.
So you'll get like a 25.
We've talked about this. You're just learning it because you're a fucking boomer.
I'm glad we've got the gambling.
So like they will give you a 50% booster if you do a 3-team parlay and spend so much money but can't spend over like $25 on it. So let's just say you put $10 to win $200, and that means you boost your winnings to $300. And they'll do like a money. How do they? I don't know. I can't remember how they work. But basically, not the money shot. They will do a risk-free bet up to like $25.
Is there an asterisk on there?
So you can put $25 of your money. If you win, you take it, you move on. If not, they let you put $25 as a voucher towards something else. Okay. You don't get it as a write-off. You don't get it as a credit. You cannot withdraw it. It is not yours.
You have to let it ride again.
You have to let it ride again.
So it sounds like what I guess the base hole that I'm taking away from this already
is there's no write-offs, and you just have to keep putting money in to get those.
No. What it is that any time you do anything that requires or involves a terms of service agreement and you have no idea what the fuck you're getting into, you should know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's all available.
Yeah.
It's all available. It's all there.
But does it say does it say all the rules in the first two sentences? Because that's as far as most people get.
Oh, Papa Bear, you're going to have to read.
Oh, no, I understand.
Top to bottom,
I
left to right,
I like
Tylenol for
reading.
headaches,
You're going to have to
Midol for cramps.
I actually
to
read
like
contracts,
zoom out and move that phone screen around.
I may not always understand everything that I sign,
Can
but I
you
read
put in
everything
Richard
that I
from
sign.
Tommy Boy here with top to bottom, left to right, Tylenol for headaches, Midol for cramps?
I think that might be a little cease and
Cease
desist.
and desist. There you go. Cha-ching.
No, that's
Bam.
free speech you said, right?
No.
No.
Oh, that's someone else's
Name and
speech.
likeness
No,
are
no.
two
So I
completely
can
different
say
things.
it, do
Copyright
this, but you
attorneys-
can't put the clip
No.
in here.
Inter-
Okay, so
yeah.
I just have a rectangle of blank clip.
Pretty
Intellectual
much.
intellectual property attorneys are not the government.
No, they are not.
They will not just try to get you to shut up.
And they are not cheap.
They're not.
They will come after you for lots and lots of money. So
But
don't
if you
come after me.
read, they do tell you all the rules.
Well, no,
You
but
just read.
this just cracks me up because it's like they'll never give any money, and it's like, okay, hold on. The scenario that they're telling you is going to happen as the anti advocate.
Mm-hmm.
That's you're trying to say, and let's forget all the technical information about what you said about free bets. You know, you get free money, free credits, and it's like, hold on. You think to get out of paying like $1 million to the schools and some form of tax, you think they're going to give away like $20 million in free bets? Even if it's like why would they? You have to pay those if you win. Like
They state no. If you if they have the free bet,
doo-doo?
He
I
said
did almost
doo-doo.
said doo-doo. I tried to stop
Doo-doo.
myself.
This
So
is an intellectual
I'm
podcast about perspective.
I'm glad you said that because I was jumping on it.
if you have that free
jumping
bet
on the
and you
doo-doo?
win it, then
Yeah.
you can put it in your account and have it withdrawn, and you can keep it. But if they did that every single day to offset their losses or everybody else's losses,
Yeah.
that's not how business is run.
Successfully, no.
So, as Ken-zee said earlier,
Compliance is a
the house
sketchy
always
area.
wins.
yeah. Can I ask you a personal question?
Absolutely.
You don't have to answer it
Go ahead.
because you said you're a degenerate gambler. The answer could be like bad. In the last year, let's just say calendar year, that where we roll up on since November last year. Are you ahead?
No.
How much are you down?
Honestly, I don't know.
Rough
Because
number?
I don't know because I've been like
$1,000? $2,000?
I don't know.
The only reason I ask is because I'm like
Is there a comma?
Okay,
weird.
if I took it,
Just answer, is there a comma?
Can I put? There is no. So I've made trips to like Vegas and
Okay,
this and that.
yeah.
So if I take that out and just say my sports betting
Yeah,
that I've
yeah.
done crossing the border into Kansas and back, I would say I'm around for calendar year 1,400
down or up?
down.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying. In my head, I don't like to. I just think of it as a hobby in a way.
It is. That's all. It makes the game
there
more
are
interesting.
certainly people that are trying to make money.
Oh,
There
yeah.
are people that have a huge problem and don't have the money to gamble and are gambling it. So if you're like, I mean, if I would out myself if I said how much you spent on single malt scotch a year. It's just one of my hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
If you said $1,400, I'd be like, that's pretty fucking cheap hobby,
Right?
I'm
Yeah.
just saying. Dude.
So I got a year of excitement rooting for sports,
Yeah.
watching sports that I probably wouldn't normally watch, boosting those ratings, helping lots of people. I mean,
Anxiety boosts and cortisol. Just
Hey, Randy,
pulsing.
I got a question for you from this
Randers.
side of the table.
uh-oh.
Oh boy.
How much money do you typically bet for the Cowboys to win?
Oh Jesus.
I bet Jesus is involved in every one of those
Okay,
bets.
hold on. Let me add.
That's an easy. That's an easy answer.
let's-
0 because I'm not an idiot.
Let's
Now,
narrow
wait,
this
wait,
down.
wait,
Hold
no,
on.
no, no,
Because
you
I want to
can't
refine
interrupt.
your question.
You have to shut up for 1 second because we have to trap him.
Okay. It's been 1 second.
Randers, follow up.
Follow-up question.
How much money have you bet on the Chiefs to win? That bandwagon fan of yours.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. We're about to prove it here for real.
Couple
Data.
hundred.
Okay.
There
Maybe
it
1,000.
is.
Maybe
There
a grand.
it
Maybe
is.
about $1,000 over the last.
So, guys,
8 games.
Randy's
Nice.
mom. Randy's mom.
Don't
We
tell
are
her
so fucking sorry. I apologize.
I
for saying
learned
the
my
F-bomb
fucking
so many
gambling
times.
degenerate shit from my mother.
But you
My
know
mother was the one who took me to casinos. She
You
took
know
me for my
what, your
21st
mom-
birthday. It is your fault that I'm a degenerate gambler.
Props to mom. Man.
Yeah, but how proud of you would she be for switching over to a winning team?
She's a Cowboys fan.
I know. How
She-
proud
she's
of
not-
you would she be for
So is she-
switching over
How
to
proud
a
of you would she
winning
be?
Is she
team?
betting on the Cowboys or against the Cowboys?
She doesn't bet.
Okay.
She doesn't sports bet.
All right, so let me get this straight.
likes the
You are a
slots.
flip-flopper. Your mom raised a flip-flopper. Now your mom's finding out. Your mom, our most loyal listener, is finding out you're a bandwagon fan for the boys. You bet on the Chiefs. You support the Chiefs by buying their merchandise. You send your people articles about how much you're done with the Cowboys. Randy,
tribal pull is strong.
Randy,
It is.
the next goddamn episode is going to be about how you're not a bandwagon fan. You're a real
full-blown
Chiefs fan.
He's an actual fan.
I'm just a full-blown Chiefs.
So hold on. When did you move here again? Did you say?
I've been here since 18.
Yeah, I mean, you came around at the right time. It's like you could have never asked for a better time.
Right.
You got to skip all the bullshit,
All the heartache, the pain.
Scott Pioli, Todd Haley, fucking Belcher committing suicide in the parking lot. Like you.
I think I came at the tail end of that.
No,
No?
because Reed's been. Andy's. I swear to God, he's been here. Like
He's been
11,
like 10 or 11 years.
or
So yeah.
11 years.
I was at 9 in my head.
I think he came in 2013.
That sounds about right. I think I know he's over 10 years here.
Yeah.
Is it 13?
Which seems insane.
This is Mahomes' 8th pro season. I mean, that counts as rookie season, and he had 3 seasons with Alex Smith, or at least 2 seasons with Alex Smith before. So we're talking 10 seasons.
Good.
So
Yeah.
you got to.
I know he's over 10.
You
though.
got to
The
skip
amazing thing is
all
we're
the
talking
shit.
about it, and we could just Google it.
Yeah,
Could, but
I don't have my little
worth it.
tablet here, so I'm not like a fact checker. God,
But yeah, I mean,
Some
I
prayers.
shit.
like I said, the great part is like I wasn't even I wouldn't even consider like being a Chiefs fan up till maybe 3 years ago. So I really got to skip all the shit.
It's really to think about it in that vacuum, the short just 10 or 11 years, because really even if you came the first year, he fucking took Chiefs to the playoffs very first year. I mean,
Yeah.
And but even in those first 3 years, the first couple of years encapsulated all the fucking bullshit that came with being a Chiefs fan when they had a good team.
Right.
Fuck. Like 21-7 at halftime against the Titans, just wah wah wah. Fucking
All
no,
just
snake bit bullshit. Thoughts and prayers. Fuck. All right, let's go. Let's move on.
yeah. So like I said earlier, that I went to the good old Facebook
Oh yeah.
to look for my content for tonight, and I just want to make a few statements. First of all, if Kamala would have been elected, no rights would have been given out or replenished or restored
Okay.
upon her election, because she's been in office for the last 3 years and hasn't done it. It's still been
But she's not the decider, remember, Randy.
She's not, but she is the administration.
Gonna be the asshole like contrary.
And it is still at a state level. It's always been, it's not
Yeah.
always been, but it is at state level, and it's staying there from what it looks like. 2, basically your race, religion, sex is still a protected class.
Yep.
You're not having that taken away from you.
Constitution says that.
The Constitution says you're a protected class.
Yep.
You're a protected class as long as you're not a white male.
I mean, it's shades of gray. Put it that way.
Everyone's
a
protected
straight
in a
white
way.
male, sorry.
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean,
Still shades of gray.
life, liberty, happiness, but you are not a protected class.
Well, as we talked about, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness you can definitely do some mental gymnastics and twist a lot of things into that
But
idea.
I wanted to also say is the president has no power for the most part. He has a little, but I do want to talk about how much
let's say
power
they
does
have a little.
He
how
has sneakers for sale.
Does.
he does have sneakers.
They're
It's the
god
dumbest
awful
fucking
looking.
thing
Do you
I
have
could
any of those
laugh at
sneakers?
there.
I do not.
I know you like sneakers, man.
I do not have any of the gold.
Okay,
love
let me ask you this: as a shoe fan on a stupid tangent, you're a sneaker fan. Are they not the most ugly fucking thing?
They're pretty
And
bad.
I don't care
They're pretty
whether
bad.
you're for or against Trump. I don't care.
They're bad.
He's our president now. Move on. That said, some of his merch is fucking
He's
hideous.
president.
Oh, yeah.
He's president in January. He's just the president elect now.
Thank you.
President-elect.
Thank you.
I like to give his fuking bullshit technicalities. Just throw
Right,
it back
just
at
throw
him a
that
little
right
bit.
back
Here
in
you
there.
go, bud. President elect.
Clearly a liberal fact checker.
Yep.
So anywho, I'm asking the sneaker fanatic.
They are ugly as fuck.
In the underground, though, do they have like resale value?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
The OG,
but
the
is
OG
it
release.
only the name, or is it like people can't be like these are sexy? Like
No,
They
it's
don't
just
look good.
it's just the same with anything else.
It's an
Supply and
Well,
demand.
it's rarity too.
Rarity. I don't know how. There wasn't a whole lot. I think
See,
1,000 made or something.
The hard part about him was that and
That number's
again,
completely
like,
made
why
up.
The
I really
fuck,
don't
why
know.
the fuck would I even care? But I did see at some points because people were asking about, oh, did you spend money on those? And a lot of people cop to buying fake ones.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Counterfeits.
I can
All
see that.
Trump shoes, you got them right now. Do you sell them for the up value, or
Randy
do you
does
hold on
not.
to them?
Have
do not
the
have
shoes.
them.
He does
If-
not
if
have
you,
the shoes.
no, I'm saying, like, if you had a pair, if like
He's trying
you
to
had
catch
a
you,
pair,
dude.
would you sell them for the resale because they're going to be high right now, or would you keep them?
Yeah, you sell them, flip them.
Have you ever known me to keep anything and not make a profit off it? If I
And
can?
when we talked about this with the Nikes, it's
Bitch,
like
you sold your hair for $12.
if they
Right?
sit, if they sit, they eventually break down. So why
They do.
why not just fucking flip
yeah,
them and
it's
make
like
your money back?
10 years or whatever. If you don't wear sneakers, they literally crumble into. I watched a video of somebody had a giant, awesome
Collection as
original, and they're like pulling it out, and the soles are just separating.
Oh, yeah.
The glue is completely different colors. It just turns to dust.
I can only tell you that paracetic acid will do the same to shoes over time. Don't ask me how.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Boots, they're boots.
Okay, sorry.
It's
I
amazing
didn't mean to
what-
interrupt you with the Trump sneakers. I
they're,
just had to say I don't care about
Paracetic is-
what it is going on.
You
right
should
now.
see what lime
It's-
can do
we're
heated
moving
to
on.
about 300 degrees.
But oh my god,
Paracetic's boot killers, man.
those sneakers
big
are
boot-
ugly.
Big
They
boot
are.
killers.
Yeah.
That said, moving
They
on
are.
from the sneakers. Sorry. What's it?
We like to make fun of the sneakerhead Randers.
I like my sneakers, but how much power does the president have? Let's be honest.
My opinion is they're.
Checks
So
and
it's kind of a tough question, but I mean, really,
It is,
as
because-
far as they can only do EOs, executive orders.
Well,
and
that's what I'm saying. The executive orders. How far does an executive,
executive
order?
orders can only.
It hits the first judge that doesn't like it.
Yeah,
Literally.
I mean, we've seen because he tried to do EOs to undo student loan forgiveness as well, and that got struck down by the Supreme Court.
I mean,
But
Biden,
on the same
Biden
note-
tried it the whole
On the
whole
same
way.
note, he did use executive orders to strike down all Trump's border policies. I mean, that's what happened. It wasn't anything that passed Congress that got all those policies turned off.
No, I mean, but
So they do
somebody
have
could have
some-
stopped it at
They
any
do have
time.
some power, but I mean, I still will always make the pitch that the president is a popularity contest.
Mm-hmm.
They are a leader and a figurehead, and their pen is more powerful than they are. The pen that they use to sign legislation is way more powerful than the cult of personality around any particular president. I'm not using that to call it to Trump, because in my eyes, Congress is the real.
That's what I was just about to
Congress
ask.
is the power.
Why do we put so much interest on a talking head when we have arguments every single day over political ideology? We'll call it.
Clicks,
Yeah.
baby.
Clicks, baby.
Well, this has gone way back.
The internet,
Way before the internet.
I get what you mean.
We have put so much into who the president is, who that face is for us.
Yeah.
Why are we putting so much into it when we have so much arguments over certain topics, whether it be reproductive rights or border, this, that, and the other?
I have an answer for
the
this.
Congress is the one who makes those laws, not the president.
I have an answer for this.
He can put in his input.
And it's a human nature. It's a human nature answer.
Okay.
The answer is that with anything, it's kind of like what we talked about with the amendments, legislation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're all deep. They're all complicated. There's all kinds of conditions, terms for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's just say, okay, do you want to talk about through this 4,000 word legal document, or do you want to say, hey, George W. Bush sounds dumb when he talks? Because honestly, for the majority of people, and I'm not saying it everybody, but a lot of people that are swept up in the emotionality of politics and the popularity contest, which is a presidential debate specifically or election.
Correct.
It's way easier to just say, well, Bill Clinton, he's a pretty smooth talker, and that George W. Bush sounds dumb, so I think I'm going to vote for Bill. Or, I mean, again, I always make the pitch that when it comes to politics, especially because people don't like to read past the first or second sentence, that the easy answer for the complex question, an easy answer for a complex question is always preferred over actually thinking through the issue and drilling down to what we really believe and can justify with our beliefs.
But how, in 250 years, haven't we just said, these guys don't matter? These are the people that matter. This is the people we need to be looking at.
They're bright, shiny objects, man.
I want to quote George W. Fool me once.
I think that's more.
Shame on you.
I think that's Elvis.
Can we do
twice?
Can we do cocaine when we take this plane up?
I can't be fooled again.
I'm pretty sure that was Elvis.
That is a real quote.
I own the Rangers.
That's a real George W. quote. Like,
I own the Rangers. Can we do some cocaine on the field?
Right.
It wasn't with Rogan, but
Sorry,
it's raw
George.
and unedited.
Raw and unedited.
But yeah, George W. did classify "fool me once, shame on you; fool me twice, I can't be fooled again."
That was, I mean, to me, that was, we're all younger.
Now, I do like
That's
the
the weird-
modern take on it. I like that. I learned from my mistakes the first time approach, but that's not what he meant. Like, we both know he just looked at his teleprompter like, it went too fast. God damn it.
That's what happens sometimes.
Can't be fooled again.
Can't be fooled again. And that was back when you fucked around and found out and got a fist instead of a...
You want to know what that was
More
also?
likely,
that
yeah.
was back when you dialed up to the internet and it wasn't just on your phone push notifications. It wasn't just everywhere all the time.
You know what, though? God damn it.
I still was able to find that quote and nail it.
This is one of those things, though, and I'll bring it up because it's a political discussion.
All right.
This is where it comes up the most. Is our society as we've gone to this era where so much discourse is done on the internet, where we're throwing ideas back and forth willy nilly. It's chaos. It's a ring of like.
Speaking of that, I just want to stop you real quick.
Yeah.
Save that. Today, everybody expected World War III, Civil War, people, other than a few outliers.
Yeah.
Everyone?
Not everyone. It was
It's
metaphorically, not literally. I know
it's figurative.
I just like to say that words mean what words
not
say.
everyone.
If we don't want to step on toes with politics like we're talking.
Not figurative.
Not figurative. Everyone.
We're going back to the Mac hand or the Ken-zee hand puppet again.
What were you saying?
Can you just take that hand and use it to...
Anyways.
I'm going to say it just to piss him off now.
Irregardless.
Your fucking face.
So, with that being said...
You're like a jack in the box.
In a way, isn't it almost just like a weight lifted?
Oh, no, today I felt...
No more fucking this.
I went out running.
Bitching back and forth. It's just finally...
I went out for a run. It was beautiful weather. It was beautiful weather outside, which makes it less bullshit, less torturous than normal. But I had the exact same thought, which is it's a combination of things. It's first of all, the bullshit's over. Like for the most part, the hill has been climbed and we're all on the downhill slide. 2, no fucking commercials. Oh my God, I'm so fucking sick of political commercials. And third is the root of your notes, which is how fucking entertaining.
It's been entertaining to an extent, but that's almost getting old.
Aftermath, so to speak.
I mean, like I looked up today.
That's a nice way to say stupidity.
Well, I mean,
I looked up today just for comedic relief, we'll call it, The View.
Oh yeah.
So I'm expecting these just going at it.
Yeah.
We're just gonna climb that hill. We're disappointed, but we're gonna get over it.
Yeah, defeatist.
Which is fine. It's just way different than what I expected.
That's good though.
But
it is. It's almost like it's done. It's over.
Dude, you don't want to expect the fight though. When you expect the fight, that's when there's a problem. And the reason that I say that, anyone that voted for Kamala needs to accept that unless you're going to have them do the decrying of an election, Jesus fucking Christ, move on. Now, I don't say that.
That could be said for both sides. Yeah.
Again, we have a new president elect. Thanks for clarifying that.
Well,
fucking asshole.
Words mean things.
But at least you got it right because words mean things, remember?
Words mean what words
mean.
You're
learning, you're growing as a person.
As it turns out, the dictionary said that.
Less fat skinny.
So, yeah, overall though, if you want people to unify and be a nation and come together as a community, you have to have people from both sides. Yeah. You have to have differing opinions and differing things, because the second, and I mean this, if you unify an entire nation, this momentary second on everything, then something will become an issue. And then what's the new issue?
It's true. When you can't be right without wrong.
We have short attention spans as humans.
If you look up
and grab new shit quick.
If you look up enough on the brain, you look up enough on people, you look up enough on collective research, there's no unifying everyone on everything. There's no pleasing everyone, is the old way to phrase that.
There's no pleasing you.
Not you, just everyone.
Oh, I thought that was your wife.
No, dude. No. Come on.
What is it? Bong and a blitz?
Yeah, hey. The young guy knows.
Whoa.
Fucker.
When I think about you, I touch myself.
I touch myself when I think about myself, too.
Yeah, that's
Okie dokie, moving the mic away.
hey,
Right.
man.
Electoral college versus popular vote. Is it a great thing to have?
I prefer the electoral college only because it's a basic argument, which is that take the most populous states in the union, and
Probably 4 of them, and they could.
and they get a very, very,
5
very,
of them.
very large chunk of the power to vote in a national official.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at what I think California and New York is 80, almost 78, I think, total. Then you throw in Texas and Florida, that's another 70.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're up to 150 there, throwing another 18 from Illinois. I mean, you got 8
That's
states
a
could
lot.
run the whole
That's a lot.
50.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the crux, to me, is the crux of the argument for smaller government, smaller federal government, more things going to the states anyway.
Which
So can we back up for a second, though?
Yeah.
Yes.
So going back to that unification thing I was just talking about, one thing I will say is Missouri, where we sit, passed for the tax for senior citizens. It was a 250% increase compared to the...
You mean the tax freeze for senior citizens?
No, the tax implement for senior citizens, for senior care.
Okay.
It was, I believe, was it?
So it'd have to be on a state level, which
Yeah,
sadly
state level.
doesn't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
Well, it was a state level, but I'm just saying it was a 250% more for senior citizens than was asked of us for ballpark. Pretty cool of us to rise up for our people rather than for a ballpark, right? Like, that's unifying.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Unfortunately, it's not a federal level, so it's not going to make.
I do want to make one.
But yeah,
funny.
step's a
Small
step.
steps.
Yeah.
I want to make one funny.
I'm with you.
One
You can't
funny-
run in and shove all your shit in someone's face and say, fix it at once, babe.
No.
Do that.
I got you.
You could, it just won't get fixed.
Well, you're going to need a hell of a
Yeah,
therapist.
you need a big toolbox for
Trust
that.
me, you can't just show up and say, fix this. I've tried.
And how does that make you feel?
So I just want to bring up one weird, unique characteristic about Missouri.
Okay.
Lived here my whole life. I'm kind of used to it. It's a little odd, right?
Your whole life since 1912?
Yeah, it's been a long time. That's sure.
It's like 5 lifetimes for me.
It's a lot of lifetimes. Sorry, when did you say 1812?
I said 19.
1912? Yeah, it was before my grandfather was born. So
Allegedly. I want to see the birth certificate.
well, no. So this was a conversation I had when I worked today, and I have conservatives and
Do
liberals.
they call you Old Man River at work?
No, I'm one of the younger people on my team at work. I'm one of the youngest. I think there's only 1 or 2 people younger than me out of 15.
How do they program on chalkboards?
It's punch cards for youngsters like yourself. But we were talking about. We started with amendments.
Do you guys have nap time after pudding hour?
I just go home.
All right, we have to let him tell us.
I just go home
We
when
have to
that
let him
happens.
share. We can't keep roasting.
And it's not a story, but
Go ahead.
The jokes are a little yeah. In any case, I was talking to a gentleman he's the architect for my team. He's a conservative guy. He's a Christian, and I had to ask this, right? Because he had made mention earlier in a little stand up about Amendment 3 passing, the abortion reproductive rights bill, and he was sad. And he wasn't mad, like he wasn't indignant. He's just sad because to him it means life, and that's his belief. And I'm like, I understand, because I mean, really, at the bottom of it, killing humans in any way is pretty shitty to me. But again, we can't build all the rules around.
Like I said, I think we have a classification issue.
Yeah, it's a sweep. You can't make these sweeping generalizations, but then use like outliers.
It's
and
not
border
one
cases
size
to
fits all.
justify, right? It's not.
Yeah.
And that led me to think, just in that moment, I'm like, how is it that we as a state, and it was a pretty close vote. It was maybe 53 to 47, 52 to 48, somewhere along those percent. It wasn't a runaway like victory. I mean, actually, it probably is, but the point was,
it's a lot better than sports gambling.
when we watched,
like
when we
0.03%.
passed this reproductive rights bill, which I think anybody would say this is more on the Democratic side of the bill itself, is more of a left thing than it is a right
Absolutely,
thing, right?
yeah.
How is it that we do that? It's a progressive amendment, but then we vote in Mike Kehoe and Josh Hawley as senator and governor in a fucking landslide? So on one side, your amendments are these progressive pieces that have codified reproductive rights for women in Missouri, which is a great thing. It's awesome. I'm glad they fucking did it. Mm-hmm. But on the same note, are these people voting blue down ballot? Or are they vote like, well, you know what, this fucking Josh guys really got it together, but I'm going to vote for yes on reproductive rights. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I can probably answer that question.
Weird contradiction.
No, I don't think it is.
You first.
I don't think it is, because if I was looking at it through my lens, I don't like it.
Are you blind in one eye?
And rose-colored.
Because then you'd have to have lenses, not a lens.
Well, I have lenses.
Or are we speaking metaphorically now?
Anyways.
I do I have 2 lenses, one in each eye.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to say before Chuckles and Fuckles and Dickhead decided to speak up.
Yeah.
Did you call out yourself?
No, both of you fell under one and then named out each of you individually.
That's awesome.
You had to have called out yourself with Chuckles, Fuckles, and Dickhead.
Both of you were Dickhead and then Chuckles and Fuckles.
Guilt by association.
You double insulted us without an Oxford comma? Are you shitting me?
Damn it, dude.
Absolutely.
I thought he said he was smart. This is bullshit.
Nope. That's slang.
This transcript.
Slang does not.
If you transcribe this conversation, I'm going to fucking edit the shit out of it.
Good luck. Good fucking luck.
All right, so what's up? What do you think?
So, the way I would look at it is like, do I like Amendment 3? No. Is there a need for it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would I support it against my better judgment? Probably. I mean, no, I would. I will. Yes. Okay. I would. Because it's the right thing to do.
So are you making, I want to be clear, because I want to understand.
The right thing to do is your opinion, to clarify.
Well, I think I kind of get.
I'm not arguing your opinion. I'm saying it's an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So right thing to do is in your brain. For perspective,
it's all
to
subjective,
clarify.
Definitely.
Correct.
So are you making the argument? Because I think I kind of get where you're going, because really, if you take the abortion piece out and just say that this is a right for someone.
That's not where I'm going with it.
No. Well, my point is, like, to me, if you're even a conservative at all, you're still. I mean, technically, most are believers in states' rights. Like, the state needs to make those decisions, not the federal government.
Correct.
So, do you think,
especially being more libertarian, like, I don't like the government having all.
Do you think that there's, because you've got Democrats who are going to vote yes for it.
Yeah.
And then you have conservatives, but are like, how I'm trying to understand in my head is, are there enough conservatives that aren't hung on the reproductive rights as a moral, religious issue? Are there enough that say, you know what, I'm not a Christian, but I'm a conservative, and I think that we should not be having this sweeping negative amendment that's going to could cause danger to women. Let's be honest. That's what it is. That's where I strike, because it's like, conservatives, are they splitting over this? This should be a states' rights issue, and I'm not a Christian, so I'm not as hung up on the idea that all abortion is completely immoral and anti-ethical.
So the way I look at it and I view it is that it is more of an age gap. I think you get the older Republicans who are hardcore Christians, hardcore Catholics, hardcore,
and they're going to be hardline.
And it's hardline. Then you get somebody like me who's in my age group that is raised in the church, doesn't practice it as much, but it's still
like our guest from last week.
Yeah,
Dave.
Who's still believes in faith, believes in this, but believes in science, believes in that. Then you'll have people who, especially in Missouri, let's just say 25 and under, who are avid hunters, kind of know about the Bible a little bit. They value their gun rights. They value more conservative ideas.
Sure.
But they have no moral obligation to a religious deity.
Yeah, I know, we're like kind of addressing the slow decline of.
So I think there's 3 different
religiosity.
I think there's 3 different age groups that's happening right now in the GOP, and if they don't start shifting towards, if my age group doesn't start backfilling, there's going to be a big gap to fill. But to answer your question, how could you do that? Well, I could morally say, well, yeah, we need to give those rights, because there's as I mentioned in the last episode, there's a classification issue.
Yeah.
One size does not fit all.
Yep.
There is a lot of different medical terms.
No, it says it on the tag. One size fits all.
Well, yeah.
It does.
Because we get a tag to vote on, right?
Yeah.
So you really, get a tag that has two sentences
your abstraction
to say yes
is
or no to.
your abstraction is appreciated.
I'm just saying.
No, he is right.
Next to the fucking tag
you get two sentences to break down a sometimes 200-page
simple explanation to a complex problem.
Absolutely.
Could you imagine the voting line if everything was a 200-page question?
If you have to scroll to the bottom and check that you've read all the text,
right?
You would just see urine on the floors where people are like, "I need a bathroom break." You got to vote first.
Empty piss bottles, dude. Big jug on the floor.
This is Amazon. You're pissing in bottles before you get out of that booth.
Hey, there's a guy who's going to sell that though.
Not us.
But so I can morally say, yes, this needs to happen. But if you go down to Democrat or Republican, you have Kamala or Trump. Me personally, she's not relatable. She's not somebody that I can be like, oh yeah, that person's like me. Trump isn't either. Yeah. I think both of them are horrible out of 333, probably 150 million able bodies that could probably fill that position that's legal.
Yep.
That's our best. But that being said, like I have nothing I can grasp on that she says. Some of the things that he says, there's a little bit I can grasp onto. So can I do what's right and then still go with somebody who's relatable to me? Like, and at the same time too, it's like, I think a lot of people, I don't know who Josh Hawley was running against. I don't know that person, but really? I've heard the name Josh Hawley. Lucas Coons. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I have. So Lucas Coons, I've never heard that name, but I do know Josh Hawley. So I've heard that, and I heard my uncle talk about him. So I'll just go with that.
Oh, you're gonna love our next week's guest opinions about Josh Hawley.
Well, I mean,
they're from the same hometown, so
he's got a fun run for him too.
So
the beer station.
I will say, if Josh Hawley does happen to listen to this, go fuck yourself.
Fuck you, man.
Just go fuck yourself, man.
I don't know you, Josh. So
I would make the argument that
you're such a good actor. Move out to LA and get your money, buddy.
You really look great running across the hallway.
You've got a huge
during January 6th
fucking smile with the perfect hair
hiding
and the exact
from
right stance
danger.
for clicks.
Speaking of that, January 6th.
He was groomed, man.
Oh, he sure looks like he was groomed by.
Well, no, I mean he went to Yale, Harvard Law School.
Which ones aren't?
He's in the Federalist Society. He was like editor of the Harvard Law Review. I mean, this is.
Are you going to tell me mathematically that like 14 of our presidents belong to the same group and wasn't groomed in some way?
Are you talking about Skull and Bones? It sounds like you're making a reference to Skull and Bones.
I did
It's a fraternal organization, a secret fraternal organization. Yeah, it's Yale.
Yeah,
it's Yale.
So you're going to tell me that mathematically?
No.
What is the chances of that?
Well, let me tie something else in. They're all members of the Federalist Society.
Well, yeah,
all are, and almost all of our Supreme Court justices are. A ton of our appeals court judges are that are conservative. They're on the conservative.
I mean,
side.
you can go back to like where Obama was groomed and put
in Kenya.
You can.
I mean, you can.
God, I love poking the bear with these fucking political episodes.
Let's poke bears all together. We all agree on historical
facts. Poking Randy?
No, just the bear of ignorance in this country. We used to have a party in this country.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What was the old party called? Wasn't it called the Democrat Republicans?
Well, I mean, maybe you're referring to the tendency of Democrats and Republicans to flip flop. Like
no.
Like
I'm saying back in the day when the party was actually combined and then split up.
You'd have to. I mean, there's a lot of history about that. I mean, because there's been a lot of political parties that had power. It just happens that Democrats and Republicans, because Democrats and Republicans have been around hundreds of years, but the
ideology,
the ideas behind them have shifted with public sentiment and culture.
Like Democrats were heavily for slavery.
Yeah, weren't they? I thought Democrats started Ku Klux Klan.
They did.
Yeah. So, I mean, I gotta say that they'd probably want to distance themselves from that. David Duke doesn't get invited to the DNC convention,
but I feel maybe like he does.
I do think he was actually like
Republican in the.
Wasn't there multiple people that like spoke at one of the?
Well, didn't one of one of them endorsed? Was it Hillary or Bill Clinton? Like one of them, David Duke, I think.
But that doesn't count. That's not fair because, I mean, you have people from all kinds of random ideologies. You get two people to choose from.
Yeah.
They're going to pick one of the two, and you're going to see it. And
that's
you're
kind of the problem of when he talked about having a more than two-party system. Is like,
yeah, I mean, all right,
people that are leaders of any kind of thought, thought leaders of any kind of cause, and they're going to go to one or the other.
I'm pretty sure Biden has spoke good things about certain people among that.
Oh, okay.
Thomas
I know what you're talking about.
Democratic Republican Party.
Okay.
I mean, they called it the Democratic Republican Party. We're 2 letters off. I get that from our 2-party system now, all in one party.
This is a
I'm just trying to point it out where I think that the people are what's first and foremost in everyone's mind, to a level.
I think you just call them fucking elephants and donkeys. Really, it would be the exact same,
right?
Well, the donkey elephant party just doesn't have the same ring to it.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, it
could have a really fetching graphic, which
sums up a lot more though.
Like elephants with a donkey
and an elephant.
Elephant with a donk.
Elephant with a donk.
I like conservative. I mean, conservative and liberal to me is very easy.
Yeah,
and it really is. Man.
Well, you brought up the 6th, and a lot of people are hoping somehow the 14th comes through. For those that don't know, the 14th Amendment specifically spells out that anybody involved in an insurrection cannot hold any title or office within the United States government.
Yeah. I would probably make enemies here by saying it, because I'm going to make a good faith. I'm going to make a good faith interpretation. Mm-hmm. Trump went to the Capitol, the lawn, they're down the street from the Capitol, I believe. I may be wrong.
It was down the street, yeah.
I really don't think that he was intending violent crowd to go and breach the Capitol.
No,
I don't think
and what
that.
I did hear, and this is just hearsay, and I do know some people that were actually there. They didn't go inside or do anything like that. But I did hear that it was him. It was me. I was the second gunman on the grassy knoll.
Next week's episode only featuring 2 of your hosts.
Right? Ken-zee and Brian. Ratchet him up in the cuffs, folks.
Send me some GoFundMe's for my bail. No. I was not there. But that being said,
he looked like the dude, the guy with the horns.
We gotta stop saying that. I say it every fucking episode.
The shaman.
Now.
Yeah, that's right. The shaman.
I say it to roast him, and I forget. He's like, you can't say that. And I'm like,
well, I think you may be able to. The context is like really important.
But at the same time, you're trying to trick AI, and they're just looking for keywords.
Oh, okay. So if we say like Pushmanon,
yeah, you can get away with that probably.
Pushmanon.
How about Pooanon?
Wait. Here you go. Pushmanon.
Yes, we made it. Anyways, knows what we're talking about.
I hate my host.
I hate these fuckers. No, I will tell you something that, I'm telling everybody, I guess. So I've had some encounters with some people that were huge, started following down that rabbit hole.
Hail Zorp.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to have to block that one out because we're not supposed to. So you get down these rabbit holes, you're like, all right, yeah, they were right about that. They were right about that. They were right about that. And then if you actually follow it, they were also wrong 50 times in between one thing they were right about. And then it's, well, they have to put out misinformation for the bad actors so they don't know our plan. What the fuck's your plan?
Yeah.
What is your plan? Like, you have no plan. This has been going on for 10 years now.
That's the logical fallacy, like the last Jenga block of most conspiratorial thinkers. The ones that really go down the rabbit hole.
I mean, the group name is Pushaman.
They just find this. They find these funny links. Because really, what are we? Our brains are pattern matching machines. That's Correct. What we're built to do. We're built to see patterns. We're built to interpret the significance of patterns. And you know what? And we've also said this though on this show. When you go looking for something,
you find it.
You find it.
But here's another thing. Our president-elect is not an idiot.
Okay.
I would. Okay.
Is there an IQ range? Because I know he talks about IQ tests a lot. I only ask
certain aspects of him is he takes advantage of things when he knows it works in his favor.
Sure.
So a lot of people are like, oh, well, he's done the Q symbol and he's plus. He signed the back of my picture. I bet he fucking did. Because now he has all of you talking about how he is this secret psyops that you've been following for 10 years, and now he's got your vote because he's the one you've been following for 10 years.
It's pretty wild, man.
Are you saying that he can sway their influence?
I don't know.
I say influence is like a is our in 2024 is our presidential candidate.
I'm saying exactly that. Yes.
Is he an influencer?
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
Well, yeah, so,
Yes.
Okay. Let's here's this classification thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because what I would call him, and I would call him a good one, is a salesperson.
Oh yeah.
Is our influence? I mean, because influencers
That's all an influencer is.
Supposed to be salespeople, right? You're supposed to put the names of things in
They're
front
selling
of the camera,
themselves.
or you're selling products, or you're using
An
your image.
influencer is somebody that sells himself.
Use your
sold
image.
terrible casinos to casino towns.
Yeah, he's a real estate developer. I mean, honestly,
Well,
If you can sell that, you can sell shit. And
here's another thing. I do want to say, and I know we've talked about this before. Everybody's like, well, he's bankrupt 6 companies. No, he's restructured 4, bankrupt 2, and has over 250 entities using his name, likeness, or he has started himself. So his success rate is literally at like 99.2%.
His educational rate is at 0.2%.
Fair.
Trump University nailed it.
he does.
That was one of the ones that did fail.
He
and
does
the
have a
airline.
degree from Wharton Business School,
But here's another thing
which
too.
isn't great. I mean, his grades weren't great, but he still has a degree.
So he has a failed school, has a failed airline.
Trump steaks failed.
Mistakes. But if you have
Good steaks.
I just want to ask: Can an airline exist without the federal government fully backing it?
No. Regulation. The amount of regulations involved with every single bit of that business are so huge.
Wait a minute.
Talk about someone like Boeing.
Okay.
What
Let's
happened-
talk about
what
that.
happened-
How much
happens if-
backdoor money is going to Boeing
What happens if government pulls all their contracts from Boeing?
They go under.
They go under in 3 months.
Right.
No,
But let's also
a month.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Too concerned.
You were being great.
They got enough cash.
You were being
Like,
gracious.
I think they had free cash flow for a while.
They sell everything off they can and they head for the hills.
Yeah.
Let's be real. They also
Executives
haven't
get
been
rid.
making planes for 2, and they're still operational.
Yeah, no shit.
So for a side note on that one, I know that the 2 guys killed that were going to testify.
Yeah.
I know that that's obviously mathematically likely, and I definitely believe everything Boeing says. I
Me
believe
too.
those 737
Totally
MAX
trustworthy.
8s were bolted in tight. I believe that the regulators that are paid by Boeing, also kind of working in the government, were definitely...
You realize because he's
Spot
what he's
on.
saying, we're going to have 2 hosts again after the week we.
We're down to 1 now.
Fuck.
Brian,
I wasn't ready to go.
welcome to the Brian Show.
Old balls prevails.
Hey, let's talk
but-
about philosophy.
Let's for real talk. Like, I mean, in a sense of Boeing, like,
I need to grow a
god
beard.
damn, dude, like you can't have your people building the plane. Like, I wouldn't fly on this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, your people in the chat, your engineers, your designers, going, holy shit, we skipped this meeting, and they're just not even talking about it.
Yeah.
And then you have the most stock buybacks.
Yep.
But so for me, at a point, you get to a level of, you're right. The government has so much balls deep in Boeing with the military and everything else that we forget about all the other shit because we have to.
Boeing, Lockheed, all of those.
Oh yeah.
are-
Defense contractors, man.
I mean, let's talk about it.
Northrop Grumman.
Okay, what do you
General
guys?
Dynamics. we can talk about it forever.
You guys think SpaceX and NASA are reaching out to Boeing for their space program stuff anytime soon?
No, I think they're I think they're in cahoots. I think they're all working together, passing on information because it's all being
Let me
funded by the
give you a
government.
hint. Boeing doesn't look real hot right now, and SpaceX is looking sexy.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. They're probably looking
Except for if you see SpaceX on a boat with its shirt off, and then
and that's how you get the design for the Cybertruck.
Yeah, no shit.
I saw a flat black one go by.
You see this urinal? This looks just like a truck.
I saw a flat
fuck that thing, man.
I saw a flat black one go by me today, and it was the most god awful, cattywampus looking offset
my
because
son-
there was no reflection, no nothing. It was just flat black.
My
and it
son
was
still
just,
goes nuts when he sees one.
Can we talk data for a second? I want to. This is one maybe you guys aren't familiar with, and this is raw data of the most fucked up way, and I love it.
This isn't about the election, though.
No, this isn't about the election. This is about Tesla.
Oh, okay. Make it quick.
That Cybertruck. Have you seen the bumper issues? The rear, the tow hitch, the whole frame issue.
I've seen a few things. I've seen a few of these fucking influencer videos that talk about them. And
okay,
but I just don't like it. I just don't like those kinds of videos. But that has nothing to do with the.
All right, now I'm gonna back
the subject of the video.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna defend Whistle and Diesel, and that's already gonna be toxic and fucking.
Because I don't like bam bang.
But I will straight up tell you, he did break a hitch off of a Tesla, then dive into the 200-page document, and guess what? In their 200-page document, it says,
don't do that.
It's rated for 110 pounds.
Yeah.
Vertically.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't meet what it said it should do. Then, because people talk shit and, oh, yeah, these fucking influencer videos, I'm a boomer. The influencer video went and said, okay, fuck you, boomers.
Well, you can speak into my good ear.
Let me tell you about it. So they took the F-150 and they dropped it over and over and over and over and over and over. And he did it, I think it was 50 times, 20 times, 100 times, whatever it was. It was what everyone said, well, the F-150 would break in the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't at all.
Yeah.
And all I can say is, maybe that fucking influencer video is showing a big flaw, because I will say, I drive a truck. You drive a truck. You've probably driven one. Now you drive a different vehicle, but it has a hitch on it. And I guarantee you, if 110 pounds broke it off, or was what it was rated for, vertically speaking, you would go, oh, fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you saw a video where your hitch of your vehicle snapped the fuck off, and then you saw somebody like you going, oh, it's just because you did it this way, you didn't do it. And then the guy goes, okay, and takes an excavator and bounces a fucking F-150 on concrete over and over. And then goes, you see what happened? Nothing, it's driving.
Who thinks of doing this shit?
Do you want to know what I'll tell you, though?
Did your...
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Your vehicle have a hitch on it?
No.
Let me go
Because I feel like if it did, like to hook them up, they would have to scissor each other.
Fucking Subaru's going to come after your ass.
How old
or your
you
vagina.
With regard to, did you ever reference the book, what was it, the Consumer Price thing or whatever, where it, like, told you all the best products?
You mean Consumer Reports? Is that
there you go.
Yeah, I remember those.
What the fuck is that?
It's the original internet.
The only reason I remember is because my
original Yelp when people were
my
happy.
Father-in-law.
Did you take it in the bathroom as a child and jerk off to it?
It was like I never saw an episode or a issue of it until I married my wife.
I'm just saying that
her parents had it.
People on YouTube that have the amount of views and money to take an F-150 new, to take a Cybertruck new, and bounce them against each other.
Yeah.
All I'll tell you is that's the real CP for me. That's the real Consumer
CR,
Reports for me. The real CR for me. That's that.
I can understand. It's fair.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the politics.
Oh, God damn it.
I get where you're going.
I've been trying to distract you guys for so long.
Fuck that.
He hates politics.
I want the red meat. Bring me the red meat.
So, I just want to talk about... So, everything has been fucking peaceful today for the most part. Like, it almost feels like a weight's lifted. It's done. It's over with. This is probably not the last polarizing episode or election we're going to have.
Yeah.
It's not.
No.
Let's just be honest. It's going to ramp up the next one.
I don't know. I still think maybe this is controversial, but I'm not saying anything controversial. I think that we're 4 years.
Today is controversial.
We're 4 years past, almost 4 years past January 6th, and the stuff that happened on that day, which was pretty wild, man. I'm not going to pronounce it as,
and I'm not trying to play it down either, but
and I think they prosecuted the vast majority at this point.
Yeah.
I know that they'll never get 100% of the people that fucked around.
You know what though? God damn it! I don't want to sound like I'm not really a conspiracy theorist.
I have a problem with watching them open the doors, move the gates, and I understand there was unruly people. People. This was not a safe, well executed.
Are going to stand down anyway because I don't want to. I mean,
but as you're walking through, taking pictures with people, shaking hands, and giving a guided tour to certain people. I'm not saying everybody was calm in that manner, but something is off. Like, how do you prosecute somebody that was literally shaking the hand of the security guard at the door?
No, that's a good question. But I want to interject something before we answer that. And I think this is a huge thing that nobody on the right ever wants to admit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it's a lot bigger deal than a lot of political people make it. Or most political folks on the right discount when I say this to them like it's not a big deal. but I disagree. But we're going to go back to the topic of the poo shaman, if you will. Okay, the phenomenon, the group of people. Hey, if you're a leader of a political movement or a thought movement, whatever, doesn't even matter. It could just be a cult of personality type that isn't a political guy. It could be a religious leader.
Are you talking about this certain person?
No,
the shaman.
No,
like because he's just a
poo shaman, just a rhyming.
You're talking about the whole movement,
of the movement itself.
Okay, go ahead.
And again, this is very much a good faith argument for what I'm putting forth, is that if you're the leader of a political movement, like either a presidential candidate is, you obviously want numbers on your side. Absolutely. Numbers in your camp, people that believe in what you're selling, right?
That's politics.
Yeah, believe in what you're selling. Is it a stretch? And I need both of you to think of this really realistically. Is it a stretch to think that a 74-year-old man, okay, who is the president-elect now, is it a stretch to think that he understands what that poo shaman movement stands for, means, and it consists of? I don't think he had any fucking clue what he was getting into, if and when he ever signaled to people that believed in that ideology of the movement.
But then you have to go into...
Well, no, hold on. But yes, go with what you're doing, but I want to finish. This is like 2 more sentences.
Go ahead.
The thing is, I don't think he understood who he was inviting into the fold of his followers. And to finish, it is a prime example of a bad apple will spoil the whole bunch. You poison the well really, really quickly, because what I put forth, because there was a lot of gear in the people at January 6th that would indicate that a lot of those people that were in and that were attacking the walls of the Capitol were believers in that movement.
Well, there's also...
Now, the feds kind of got involved with that too.
I was going to say, there's also some...
I'm making a good faith interpretation.
Some identified by...
Called agitators.
We'll call them agitators.
Agent provocateurs.
And then asked in Congress, straight up, did any of your agents play a role? I mean, I'm paraphrasing. Did any of your agents play any role in provoking this situation? Well, I can't answer that question.
Plead the fifth.
That was the answer. I can't answer that question.
Hey,
you can't answer that? We're Congress. Well, I can't answer that question.
We're in a country where we're assumed innocent until proved guilty. And
I
am going to throw out there.
But they weren't asking, were they involved? They were the representative of the FBI, and they were under oath asked, did any of your agents provoke this?
And Disney did not hurt anybody when they gave them peanuts because they watched their streaming service. So fuck your argument, because all you're asking for is an admission of guilt.
No, I mean,
I get what he's saying. Let me hit you with the real. You want to make the left a little bit happier right now? You want to make the left a little bit happier right now?
The fucking wall.
Have Trump go out and say, I'm sorry for some of the things that I've said that weren't accurate because of data I was given at the time. And that, by definition, what I want you to say is either admit to you feeling safer tonight for your pets because people are eating them, or just realize that he could backtrack that. He could come out and say, thank you guys, I'm your president-elect. By the way, FYI, data across the board is crazy now. I'm 74 and oh my gosh, wow, we really are going to have to look into
So I'm just going to, he doesn't even
backtrack it, but I'm saying
first of all,
simplest of ways,
never going to do that. Second of all, he doesn't even have to do that, because 99.9% of the stuff, if you go back and listen to what he said, they've got a way to bleach your blood, which is true. He didn't say to drink bleach.
Dude,
it gets so misconstrued about
from
he cannot articulate
incredibly far out there movements. All bell curve.
Literally, all he would have to do is walk out and say, "Listen, I apologize. I was raised in New York. My dialect is awful, and I'm sorry that I cannot articulate."
And I'm a bullshitter, pretty much.
But this is how I talk, and I'm sorry that it has been misconstrued in so many different ways. I am going to work on it.
Could he say, I'm sorry to the Haitian community of Springfield because you weren't eating the dogs and the cats? Let's just ask that question.
Didn't JD Vance come out and say that he was
the first person. Now, but hold on. Like
he apologized for making it up.
I want to do a good. He didn't make anything up. No, he didn't make anything up.
Just reiterated it.
He got it from an anonymous tip.
It was an anecdotal story that he had heard from somebody that lived in Springfield, Ohio.
I actually watched the video.
That's how I read it. That's how I interpreted it. The problem
what I think happened was, you know how media gets manipulated. There was a mentally ill person who was...
Hold on. Did you say, I think you mean how media manipulates or how they get manipulated?
Both.
Because holy smokes, man.
But everybody... Yeah, hold on. So everybody within the internet community now is pretty much a influencer, a commenter, They're media source.
The dogs.
There was literally a video of a mentally disturbed person doing things to animals.
Yeah.
And I think that was the root of it. Okay. I'm not going to say to run with it, you should do that. But people saw a visual and was like, oh, they saw the caption that was with it and ran with it.
All right, before he goes,
because they saw it on the internet, makes it true.
Before he forces us to take a pee break, this elucidates or just brings right into focus the biggest problem with partisan politics in media combined, when you combine them both. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to hypothetical. You represent the left, you represent the right. I'm just going to say, because you guys kind of go that way. We can, you're the right, he's left. I'll just use my directions. Okay. No. So if you say something, Mr. Right-wing conservative guy says something,
huge.
Mm-hmm. You and all of your people that are in the same bubble you're in, okay, will apply the least charitable bad faith interpretation possible of what he said.
Absolutely.
Okay? If your chosen, shibboleth or golden calf says something, you will always give that person the most charitable good faith interpretation. Okay? That is why there's never going to be any kind of concession towards the middle, because it is such a fucking tribal team sport now that if Trump says something fucking stupid, we know he said it because he's fucking stupid. If Kamala said something, it must have just been an honest mistake, or vice versa.
Oh no, she's stupid too.
And it's absolutely fucking
They're
absurd.
Both stupid.
And what's crazy is you watch followers of either side
I see it.
they're
you were 100% correct.
They're on the fucking tug of war thing, and their heels are dug in, and it doesn't fucking matter who says. Whoever says something that backs them up is going to be like, that guy's smart, sharp as a tack, and that guy JD Vance, he's fucking weird. He's so weird.
He fucks mattresses.
He's a couch fucker, and it's like, come on, people.
Hasn't everyone fucked a couch? No, I'm just.
I mean, honestly, I could certainly
recliner. Never couch.
I can put on the air or put on
too
the
classy
recording.
for me.
I'm being a lazy boy.
Plenty of times where right wing people like really charitably read Trump's shit and then take anything that Walls says or Harris said, and they just like, they're so fucking stupid. And to be fair, I mean, I think I agree with you. They're both kind of stupid. We all kind of lose, but it's team sports, dude. It's Broncos fans versus Chiefs fans. It's just, we're talking about the fucking ideology of politics in our country, and it's like, all right,
let's take a break and we'll wrap it up after that.
Come on, Mr. Miniature Bladder Boy.
So we were talking about the January 6th.
Yep.
You said good faith.
Yep.
I'm not even going to go as far as good faith. I'm just going to go as far as what is on the surface. Yep. Literally. And I've heard from other people that he has said this a dozen times.
Yep.
Peacefully march in protest to the Capitol.
Yeah.
We have protests, we have walks, we have this all the time. So I guess I'll do a little good faith that I think he meant. I don't like it. I don't agree with it.
So where do you think we lose it? Do you think we lose it that he said you'll have to fight like hell?
Number one, any actual president that came out and were to incite direct actual violence with his words.
Don't kill those fuckers.
Not emotional, not reading one side.
Yeah.
If you had the president came out and said, go storm the Capitol.
Mm-hmm. Take no prisoners. Fight.
I hope that anyone that voted Trump with half a brain would, and this is for that direct, would go, oh no, that seems wrong. Something went wrong there.
No, as somebody
and the
who...
reason that I say that is in the good faith argument.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
the one bad apple, the one spoiled.
I would hope the 14th would be invoked at that point.
Well, my argument that I have had is the way I described it was mob mentality.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where I come in with it is you get, again, you have people that are showing up to one thing, and I'm not defending anyone. I'm not for or against. I think it's an awful situation. Mm-hmm. That said, I didn't attend.
Like Randers.
But when you have people show up...
Just kidding, I kid.
That you get mob mentality involved, yeah, you get busted windows and people doing stupid shit.
Well, to speak further to what you say is the minute...
I've seen more damage done after the Dodgers have won a World Series.
But the minute that mob mentality sets in, like, that's red meat for your opponents.
Can I tell you what I think mob mentality is at a definition? It's a group of like-minded people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Getting it all together, and then you have a little bit of a competition lizard brain occur where one-upping has to occur.
Lizard brain.
One-upping.
I like you using lizard brain.
However you want to call it.
Fight or flight, man.
Lizard brain, a lot of people call it. But you have to
I don't even think it has to be that complex. I think just a little bit of fuel and that one spark.
Hive mind, dude.
But I think the part of it that I'm saying is you get...
Lizard brain sounds better.
When you say the spark or the fuel, what I guess I'm saying is if you slow-mo that reaction, I think what it is all three of us are in the room, mob mentality. You seeing me,
oh yeah,
fuck this, I'm gonna punch this guy.
Yeah,
now you're gonna go,
well, you feel empowered.
You punched him?
It's appropriate.
You're an ass. You don't have anything. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And then Randy, you're gonna kick the window and shit on Pelosi's desk.
Isn't that weird how mob mentality works though? Because you are absolutely right. Mob mentality. I see you do it. I'm like, oh fuck, yeah, let's do this.
Well,
but at the same time, mob mentality can be the exact opposite because psychologically, people in large groups are less likely to act in certain situations because they think, oh well, they'll like an accident. If there's an accident and somebody needs aid rendered, a lot of people will stand there and watch for a long time because they're expecting somebody else to go do it.
NPC reaction.
Can I throw something at you to break into Brian's philosophical mind?
Oh boy.
Can I break this down into the simplest of terms? Mob mentality.
Can you?
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meets alpha male.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
I don't want to break
You
down
can
to
do
sex.
it.
Meets alpha.
I don't know if I would say I think it's the dick measuring.
I don't even think it needs that.
Alpha.
I didn't say alpha male. I didn't. I said alpha male. I'm taking back male.
I see what you mean.
I just say take that. Monkey see, monkey do. That's all you need.
Meets alpha.
I don't know if I think that there's such a tendency to try to outdo the previous guy. I don't. But I certainly do think that if he can do it, I'm going to do it too.
Well, then you
That's
just
not
argued the
outdoing.
same
That's not
point.
outdoing.
But
He's saying take out the testosterone. All you need is the monkey see, monkey do.
And what I'm saying to what you just said is you kind of argued both sides of that coin.
He did.
And what I want to point out is
life is funny like that.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah. I mean, I see your point. I just don't agree with it.
And well, that may be true, but right now, let's play a game. What can I do better than you? What can you do better than me?
You can probably pee sitting down better than both of us.
You can gauge when the rain lands first before me because you're a foot taller than
You can gauge how hard the ice is for me when you fall faster
This is
during
true.
ice
This
skating
is very
because you're
true.
shorter.
It's very true.
Amazing how we can do this.
Yeah.
It's the inverse.
We could go all
And
day
what's
long.
crazy is we can both gauge the temperature less accurately than Randy can with the top of his head since we have covering of it.
Did you say less accurately?
Yes.
Because I can definitely, I can feel that breeze.
Backtrack into reality here.
Hey.
And let's go back to philosophical. What do you guys think of that? Monkey see, monkey do meets alpha. I've actually put some real thought into this.
Take out the alpha. There's no alpha.
No, because
females were involved in it as well. There's no alpha. There was no.
I think mob mentality is combustible.
The hive mind is the hive mind.
I think mob mentality is combustible because I think you can go from peaceful, and then I think you can inject one bad apple, and then you slow react.
You go from rational to irrational.
And I'm asking the real question.
So let me put it this way:
mob mentality. I've put thought to this.
Monkey see, monkey do is good enough. Then there are certain situations, I don't think this applies, that you can throw that alpha in, and then you've got a fucking cocktail that just...
Well, you start a fire, and the fire is going to grow.
I think monkey see, monkey do in this situation is good enough. You see one person do it, and then you have, I don't know how many, 20,000 people behind you.
Sure.
And I know for a fact, majority did not take part in that.
Oh, yeah.
So do you like or do you dislike that thought?
I mean, I don't think there's a like or dislike. I agree with it.
Okay, so you like it, or I agree, like what? I don't know. That's enough.
I'll acknowledge that you're right. No, I feel you're right.
Hey, there's an element.
You think that holds traction?
Yes.
Yes, because if there were, this is a funny analogy, but if there were 20 people and they were interspersed every 100 feet, the first person that rushes the gates and gets like billy clubbed by the security guards probably wouldn't encourage the other 19 people.
Probably not
to go ahead and just storm the Capitol.
Yeah, probably
but
not.
I tell you put 2,000 people there, then you have like oh my gosh, the person that agrees with us just got billy clubbed. Which just gets it foments like rage in the group, and again, monkey see, monkey do with nothing else. Describes that move from the individual reacting to a group reacting to what happens to an individual.
Okay, hit me philosophically with the intelligence of the two of you, which I think is high.
Yeah. Does it?
Why? That's the next thing I have. Why?
Because people
is it built into us to be competitive?
People are stupid in groups.
People are stupid in groups. But here's what I haven't. I'm sure it was argued, but even if it's by another member of society, by definition, wouldn't that be entrapment? Getting somebody to do something that they probably normally would. You take people with no criminal records, no active or anything.
Without motive.
Without motive.
Without a motive, I don't think so. Because the first person that rushes the gates and like billy clubs into a window, they're not thinking, I'm going to fucking get this whole crowd to storm this thing. All they're thinking is, I'm fucking going in.
Well, yeah.
I'd like to throw.
But I'm saying the people that were
first person that rushes, would that be like the OG influencer who puts a TikTok video of a bank hack with an ATM on there?
Kind of.
I just wanted to come back full circle because it hit my brain.
Because those probably were live streamed.
Fuck you. Was that what that?
No, it was live streamed.
Yeah.
I know people that were there that didn't go in, and I saw their live stream.
Maybe. I don't know. I still think it comes down to personal responsibility, and you can't ever lay.
I don't personally know. I saw it on Facebook that I've mutual friends.
You just can't ever lay your actions on somebody else telling you what to do. And I'm not talking about a captain of your brigade saying go in and do this in war.
Correct.
I'm saying this crazy fucker that's wearing horns and wearing a cape and flag and shit on his body. We're gonna storm the Capitol now, and all of a sudden everybody's like, yeah, and I'm like,
All right. So, and I understand at the same time.
Irregardless.
Yeah, no shit.
You're throwing in a lot of the fact that he represents some, we'll just call him tinfoil
Pushaman.
The Pushaman. How we got there, I watched it happen, but I still don't draw the correlation.
Do you prefer to say the other?
No.
Pushaman
no.
It is.
Pushaman it is. So with that being said, though, like, he doesn't fit the criteria.
What's the criteria?
Republican.
Okay.
There's just a lot of.
I don't think that the people that are in that movement identify as that. I think the people that identify in that movement are playing a live action role playing game. They're LARPing. They think that they've figured out some pattern that nobody else has figured out, and they are so convinced that they are smarter.
Call one of my friends.
They're smarter. They're smarter than everybody else. I don't think it's necessarily that. The whole like they think they're smarter than everybody. Yes.
Well, that would be delusional.
But it's like
delusions.
Yeah, delusions of grandeur is more of a that's a pathological thing. So I mean, it's really hard because you could take that idea and put it in a lot of other places, and it's not nearly as dangerous or esoteric or eclectic. Like there are people in almost every interest, like bubble domain, that think they know more about that bubble than anybody else does. Whether they do or not, some probably do, most don't. The problem is that you're getting down to the root of like the anatomy and the physiology of our brains. Like how much, what do you have to figure out? I mean, a beautiful mind is that.
But at the same time,
it was all bullshit, but he had taken data points and found some frame of reference to connect all of them.
But then you have the bullshit that lends this credence, because they've been calling out the ditties, everything for years.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, I mean, you can pick up information along the way.
But that's throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks.
I mean, they were right about the Epstein Diddy shit.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so we've known for years that governments have used honeypot operations to get leverage on people, on powerful people. We know that everywhere. Do I think that Epstein was a Mossad asset or a American intelligence asset? I don't know, but there's certainly a compelling argument to be made that that's what it was.
I mean, yeah.
Now,
I guess you see all the connections and the info he probably could have.
See, now here's my problem. This is what sometimes I call them like kind of conspiratorial right get into, is that they preach on a topic. Okay, sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is done in 100 different ways in 100 different places, and the motive is probably 100 different motives. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. Okay, I'm not.
No, yeah.
But finding proof that it does somewhere does not validate my belief that everybody's a sex trafficker.
Correct.
We're talking about the realm of like possibility versus probability. Okay, could it happen? Yes. Will it happen? Most likely not. So that whole phenomenon where we've been preaching about child sex trafficking for years and years and years. Well, once you find it and it comes from anywhere close to anybody powerful,
I mean, it's not new.
in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't validate the argument.
But you got to look at it this way too. They're also throwing out, at this point, probably 1 million different points.
Well, yeah, and once again,
from this one account.
Throw shit at the wall. See what sticks, and whatever sticks, you're like, you see, we were right.
So, like I said, I
the scorecard, their batting average isn't good. If they were a baseball player, they would be they're under the Mendoza line, man.
Yeah, they are. So, and that's the thing, is like, it was always, especially with it, it's
especially.
That's what
you're gonna fucking say especially, and you're gonna.
I'm gonna do it just out of spite now.
You're gonna say especially, fucking
especially from now on.
I hate it when mommy and
you have a college degree, man. Holy shit!
Right.
If you ever hear me mispronouncing something like Worcestershire,
I want to bring this up. I want to bring this up.
Worcestershire.
Since we're talking about this, we're gonna bring this up.
Yeah.
You corrected me on my grammar.
I'm in. Yeah.
You knew what I meant, right?
Yes.
Isn't the point of language to express an idea and get a point across a thought? Did what I said?
It's a personal. That would be a personal preference. I choose at all times to be as clear as I possibly can. So I am, in a way, laying my standard of excellence on you. And if you don't meet it, I'm going to fucking let you know.
And it's one word. Yeah. It's always one word.
Supposedly, you'd say that too. So
supposedly?
Was it supposedly?
Supposedly compared to supposedly?
Supposedly was my roommate in college.
I was going to say, I never said supposedly.
You say supposedly.
Supposedly compared to supposedly.
He says B instead of D. You'll catch him, trust me.
Well, you threw an M in there.
No, I'm telling you, that's.
I mean, a B and an M are close enough.
Supposedly,
on a keyboard.
Those are my two. So those are my three things. Anyways, supposedly, and
especially.
Those are. I know I do
what
it.
You're saying we're all fucking idiots.
That was great.
What's your last one?
Perfect.
Hey, regardless.
What's your last one? Hit us with a wrap.
It is. So, what I was saying.
Well, hold on. You were going to wrap up?
Okay. The point of language is to get a thought from one person's brain to the other.
Yeah.
Did it do that?
It did with an addendum.
Well, your addendum.
It's a fucking asterisk, just like the Denver Broncos mid-90s Super Bowl titles.
Okay.
Some Barry Bonds bullshit.
There's an asterisk.
Let me throw a little anecdotal story, Joe.
Oh, boy. No. This is going to take too long.
I don't have time for that.
Okay. Let me show you the beauty of sign language then.
Okay, well,
that works.
I can interpret that quite clearly.
See, I was going to tell a small sign language story, but now I made it even shorter.
I think that distilled it up perfect.
Why didn't you just talk about your dick? it would have saved us a lot of time. It would have been even shorter.
Is that a size appropriate comparison?
Would have been way shorter.
You're just outing yourself. That's all I'm saying. Are we ready for final thoughts?
Look at this. No, not yet. I got
okay.
Needle.
So
may not be long, but it sure is skinny.
Like I said, I went to Facebook to find some little bit of information on this.
Okay,
just because that's where we go for the good stuff.
This rolls right into my final thoughts
That's where
too.
we go.
That's where we go for the good stuff.
Material, yeah.
For me, we know the bullshit. Whatever, you like him, you don't. It's over.
Yep.
To an extent. 4 years, you're stuck with him, whether we like it or not. But it's the last hurrah. He's doing his victory lap. It's done. It's over with. He's already made it clear not going to go any more politics. I'm sure he's probably going to throw his hat into some shit if he.
Sure, be kingmaker. He could be a part of the GOP.
Yeah, that's what they all do.
Yeah,
Everybody
he'll also be 82 when that happens. So
I mean, yeah,
good chance he might just retire.
I mean, there's a problem. There's a good chance he may just ride off into the sunset. So I did it all. I proved everybody
he's
wrong.
not like Obama, who basically did 2 terms and was like, "Well, my machine's kind of in place," and
yeah,
for the next few years. I mean,
so with that being said, I feel personally like I didn't care who won. To be honest, it's just that weight lift it's done. It's over with. Hopefully, we're rounding a corner.
Is that because it's not going to radically change overnight?
well, so hold on. Well, back to what I kind of got to this before when we got sidetracked. Surprise, surprise. I think
Ken-zee.
the tendency to think that everything is going to be a repeat of the the roll up to 2020 election and then the aftermath with things like January 6th. Like this is the idea that is going to be the norm. I don't think that's going to be the norm. I think that our country was fucked when that happened, like because of COVID. Yeah. I think the whole entire fucking. I mean, we
basically boxed everybody up, then released them to the wild.
I'm not saying this in a facile manner. Like I think that the way that our culture was constructed or was influenced, manipulated at that point, it doesn't surprise. Actually, I think in the long run, I think I'm kind of surprised that it didn't get more violent. I mean, I'm not saying like should have. I don't think it should. I think it shouldn't have happened at all.
But
I think
think about leading up to that, all the riots that happened, all the destruction of St. Louis.
This is fucking constant. Like it's just people's emotions getting like cattle prodded to the highest order. And there's part of me, if you want my conspiratorial bent, is that. So there's literature, okay? This is like I talked to you about Brave New World today.
Yeah.
Like there's the companion book called Brave New World Revisited.
And my young mind thought, oh, fucking movie, I'll watch it.
And Aldous Huxley, like 20 years after he wrote that book, did a book called Brave New World Revisited. And it wasn't fiction, it wasn't a continuation of the story. It was him examining the plot points of the story, him telling why he used the plot points that he did and the story devices that he did because of what he had seen in the world. Okay. And a big point was he said that Pavlov, right?
Pavlov's theory, the conditioning
right?
dog, bell.
Yeah, exactly. Positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, both. He said that while Pavlov's research was groundbreaking, like really was groundbreaking, and as far as learning what
as simplistic as it is,
could teach people. Immediately, he passes up just the dog. And then he starts to talk about how scientists and psychologists, psychiatrists started using that. And there was basically
I don't put much into that because they went off of Freud's crazy thoughts for so many years as the gospel.
The mechanism actually became how governments, states approach torturing political prisoners.
Okay.
It was the idea of how long could a human being take extreme levels of stress.
I think we've seen people break and give false confessions under duress in less than.
That's my point. My
hours
point is
not even physical abuse.
He drew this physiological kind of dichotomy. Like you had a group, and
everybody's different. Everybody's going to have a breaking point.
There were some that you could punish them, and they would show very little ill effect.
Correct.
There were some that within 30 minutes would break and confess to anything. But his point was there's nobody that you couldn't break.
Everybody breaks.
Everybody breaks.
Oh, yeah.
And to me...
It may take a day or two, but...
This kind of psyop thing, in good faith, I don't think it's even possible. But COVID was like an indirect torture period for everybody. And people took it differently. Some people took it less Some people took it more intensely than others.
I'm curious to see.
I'm serious,
the
man.
Jump in divorce rates.
Huge.
I would imagine so.
Huge. I mean, amazingly high.
Because
it's fucking crazy, dude, being stuck in your house and really not being able to get out. And the other person that you're stuck in your house with, they want just as badly as you to get out. And it alienates.
It's like when we talk to Scott and you find your own self-truths when you're at that.
Everybody's got a fucking breaking point, dude. And so that's a long spin just to say that I don't think the psychological or societal conditions around this election, even as animated and high and like emotional as they were, is anywhere near COVID, anywhere near the Trump losing to Biden after COVID. I mean, that is, and God willing, holy shit, let's fucking hope we never, ever, ever repeat that. Because I'm telling you, dude,
I'm with you.
You get people that are in this weird fringe ideology who believe weird shit. You've got everybody.
Well, it gave everybody time.
Everybody's been cooped up
to look too deep into
do their own research. You know, I mean, this is kind of what
you get the Dunning-Kruger effect times 10.
Yeah,
because you are now an expert because
1,000.
You have the phone to hear other things from people. You have Facebook to look to, Instagram, which is, we know that's where we get all our medical advice from.
Facts are facts.
Facts are facts. And then you have your brain.
I'll just say this, man. Socrates would fucking laugh at everybody now.
Oh, I'm sure he would.
He would look, and he and the thing is, he wouldn't know anything. He would be the biggest ignoramus in the world in terms of technology, the reach of technology, any of this shit. He wouldn't know anything. But I guarantee you, I mean, I would bet money on this, that some of the most intelligent people that are reading shit on the internet and doing their own research, and there are people that are critical thinkers and actually have made strides in figuring things out. Yeah. He would listen to those people and be like, "You got no fucking clue what you're talking about. You're following patterns that don't work. Like you don't really have a justifiable belief in any of this shit. You're just falling down a rabbit hole and you've continued to fall down it, and you don't want to crawl back out."
Well, the bad part is too is you have people saying, "Well, it's just misdirection for the bad actor, so we have to do that." So it's just like
that's what the. Well, that, again, all you're doing is seeing that's a rationalization. It's to rationalize.
You're trying to rationalize.
You're justifying your actions. You're justifying your fucking crazy beliefs, not yours, but you know.
But at what point do you like I said, I've done a deep dive into it, very as objectionally as possible, and
objectionally.
I made up a word.
Hey,
as objectional.
Supposedly,
I got fucking busted for correcting somebody. So.
You know what I meant. I knew I kind of made that up at the time.
Objectively, I understand. But see, I'm going to be the advocate. I understood what you meant.
Fucker. He knew what I meant. Bitch.
He's been to the library.
I have.
He did. He read the whole encyclopedia. Because they didn't have the internet when he was a wee lad.
British spelling.
But with that being said, I mean, it's just people had time.
Yeah.
They had time. They had time to look up shit and become experts. And like I was going to say, the mind, whether you are given the most objectionable data, you're still going to turn it
objective data, but
subjective.
Yeah.
You got that one right.
I did.
Sure. Well, that's a Dunning-Kruger thing.
You're going to make the most average chart subjectable in your own mind. I did that one on purpose.
Subjectively.
Your words are batting under the Mendoza line.
Yeah, no shit.
It is. But no, they're going to make it as subjective as possible.
182, definitely.
So
169.
When
182.
You have time, you have way to kind of create data into your own personal belief system.
Yeah, and you're cooped up.
And you're cooped up, and then you get the you get stir crazy, and once you get released from your box.
Now, so I'm making an argument that I don't think you'll ever see anything like that again because of the condition.
I think we will.
Societal condition, maybe. I really hope not.
I hope not. But I don't. I think in my lifetime we will see another.
But I want to bring this up because this ties in with what you're talking about, reading shit online. So I read a comment today, and it was a comment that was in reply to a friend of mine who's very, very liberal, very, very liberal poster. And it was generally just kind of a rundown of what this guy thought the Harris Walz campaign did wrong. Mm-hmm. And it has very much been done in the media. You know, they kind of ignored Middle America's concerns with immigration and the economics, and it was like an over focus on what would be called far left, like either identity politics or culture war topics. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, to a person, almost everybody was agreeing with that. Okay, they're still upset that Harris and Walz lost, but there was kind of a consensus on, maybe they should have done this instead. And then this person posts this. It's a fairly long post, fairly wordy, and I read it, and I read it like 5 times. And at the end of those 5 reads, I really couldn't tell if this person was like this fucking mega satirist, like making this meta joke or if they were actually fucking serious, and they thought that this was really the problem. So I'm going to lay it out for you.
Okay.
God damn, I can't believe I'm repeating this.
You got another beer over there for
this person said, no, it's not long. I can sum it up pretty quick.
You got another beer over there?
What the person said was the reason. Do you need one?
Yeah, I'll take one.
Oh yeah, buddy. The reason was that Harris and Walz lost.
Okay.
Was that their ticket did not sufficiently. Let me rephrase. They went too far to the right to capitulate to moderate conservative or Democratic voters. Mm-hmm. They thought that Kamala's campaign focused too much on economics, and
so the number one polled issue that
immigration reform,
and the number 2 polled
correct
across all were the top 2 issues.
Put forth that she concentrated too much on the economy and immigration reform,
which polled was the top 2 issues.
And if she would have went all in on far left progressive politics, then it would have been a landslide.
We're at this conversation level for one opinion. I mean, this is
no. The reason why is my joke that I wanted to respond to was first it was already a fucking landslide, just not in the way you wanted.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna call out the elephant in the room.
Okay.
The left cried out cheaters previously. Now the left has a landslide loss. There's no call out cheater this time, and it sticks because it doesn't work. And the other thing about it is facts are facts.
No, I see where you're going, but I don't.
We're sitting here talking about one guy's opinion.
No, but I personally don't equate. I don't equate Hillary and her brief soliloquy about maybe Donald stole the election.
Yeah.
I don't equate that with what Trump did with the peaceful transfer of power and Biden got elected. I don't think those are the same. Those are not fucking that's not an apples to apples comparison. And I know that's an unpopular opinion probably. I know it is, but I'm trying to do a good faith walkout.
Well, I mean, you got to look at too as like, was it, she kept saying stolen. And then 3 years of investigations uncovers all the dirty laundry that they were actually...
Well, that's projection, buddy. You never know what projection is. Look at the things that people accuse others of doing and then realize that they're probably doing it themselves.
All right, let's actually... I want to hit you. Why would everyone that I love correcting people on this. Why is the McDonald's coffee is hot? That argument?
There's a lot more to that story.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Simply put, do your research... Mm-hmm. It wasn't because some lady drank coffee and burned her lip.
It was not her lip.
It was a lip.
Lips.
Yeah, it was not. It was spilled boiling hot coffee all over her lap.
Literally almost died from it.
Yeah, it was bad.
But what we're talking about,
and there are also been previous lawsuits and write-ups.
And what is it cited as to all of our friends? Everyone, most of our people, demographic speaking, think that is, someone burned their lip on coffee because they're an idiot. That's what people think of.
Well, it's the warning stickers are a little bit, concrete. Do not eat. Well, I probably could have figured that one out.
Gas is flammable.
Yeah, no shit. Okay, but can we start to use that? Although this is a great way to round out. People are fucking stupid.
But the funny thing is, people will freak the fuck out if you have a lit cigarette near a gas pump, which cigarettes do not burn hot enough to ignite gas. And gas will not ignite. It's the fumes that ignite.
Yeah.
So you can't flick a cigarette into liquid.
A Ken-zee.
I think the general thought process is just don't trust the people around you with fire near gas. Yeah. Because I'll tell you this, if I see someone smoking a cigarette near a gas pump, while my first thought isn't, hey, gas is flammable, they should be aware of it, I get where you're at. It is, I don't know if that person can read that word.
Yeah, that's a good point too. But to back what you said, I don't think it has. I mean, I know the point of the story was, is it satire or what? What the fuck?
That was what I got a kick out of it. Like, I'm like, is this person like a great fucking meta joke teller?
Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. You want to message them, do it. But we're stuck here talking about one person's crazy opinion.
That's funny.
All you're going to find is Facebook full of them.
Correct. And then you have, my personal opinion is, you stuck with your guy. You stuck with your guy and found out it wasn't going to work. Yeah.
Aim for the good.
They created a fall guy.
Hard to do that now.
They created a fall guy,
people suck.
Kamala's never pulled good. She couldn't beat Biden.
Don't you understand? He's sharp as a tack.
Well, they found out he's not sharp as a tack.
But the minute that the people realize he's not.
Yeah, well, they knew.
They
knew.
Okay, we've all seen that tack accidentally get caught under a desk chair where it bends the tip over, but someone still puts it in the corkboard.
Yeah, there's the exception.
I'm gonna say it sticks, but oh boy,
it's not great. It's not the best.
But let's be honest, and I wish him goodwill. No hard feelings. Like, wouldn't have been my choice, but I don't want Will. Yeah. That being said, I don't think he makes it 4 years.
Who? Trump?
No, Biden.
Oh, Biden for a second term?
No, I don't think physically his life span is.
I think that's a fair. That's not even partisan, man. You watch the guy talk, and I don't mean like extemporaneous like speech giving. I mean,
and I hate to say that because I don't wish that on anybody.
It's 81 or 82, man.
Can we switch this up for a little bit of funny?
Sure.
Well, I'm going to get to funny here in a second.
Can we talk about how people have argued how in shape Trump is?
Nobody's argued that. Nobody's ever argued that.
Fitness.
Nobody's ever argued that.
Fitness.
I'm not going to say nobody.
His vice president did.
The greatest doctors have said he's great fitness.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here shitting on our.
On paper, his vitals may be good, but
remember what we said before. It's like you gotta.
Everyone's got to attack what they can attack. It's a personal attack, but it is hilarious to me that they're like, "Oh, he is just healthy as a horse." I'm like.
Got the horse part right.
Well, I mean, old horses can be healthy too.
They can. Taylor Green's face.
Oh shit.
With that being said, though, I think she was just a fall. Her poll numbers were awful. It was a way to get rid of her and him at the same time.
If anything, you gave the Democratic Party 4 years.
They knew it was over.
Their shit right.
I think everybody in this room knows that. And this was my play right away. After I heard her talk first few times,
she's not relatable.
And we also knew.
I don't hate her as a person. I just don't relate to her.
We also knew when Biden stepped down that there are campaign finance rules.
Correct.
About your war chest can only go if it can't go to somebody affiliated with the current administration, then you lose it. You can't use it for campaigning. So. I mean,
but for the Democrats, it was smart to kill two birds with one stone. She polls so awfully.
Yeah,
she's no longer a senator.
Yeah,
no longer in office.
Yeah,
you just killed two birds with one stone on a sinking ship that you knew was going down. 6 months ago.
I just wonder if you had somebody like Josh Shapiro or Gretchen Whitmer or Gavin Newsom. I mean, these are the names that are floating for like 2028. We give them 4 or 6 months. And I mean, could they have done could they have ended up with a different result? I don't know. I think that any of them would have certainly, and okay, to use your elephant in the room, what you've said is this relatability thing. Like you want to humanize candidates, okay? And in my eyes, and this may not be anything but a blip. I think that Trump and Vance going on Elon. I think J.D. Vance going on Theo Vaughn.
Theo Vaughn and then Rogan, not Elon.
Like unscripted, conversation, not really doing a whole lot of debating, but it's just talking to somebody, which I mean, I don't care what anybody says about Rogan. He's good at getting people just to talk, just have a conversation with them. They don't feel like they have to like stump speech. They don't feel like they have to sell him on anything. And I never felt in a moment that either any of those guests, Elon, Trump, or Vance, were doing that on Rogan. I really don't. No. Man, in fact, Elon Musk, the one who's not running, kind of had probably the most pointed political commentary of any of them.
Yeah.
And you know, love him or hate him, he still has the right to have his opinions.
How JD Vance sat back and just like
he was great on Theo
He didn't even push himself. He wasn't even really trying to.
The Theo Von episode was fucking great, dude.
And we've to touch back on a couple of things that you said. Like I said earlier, kind of a weight lifted and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel that we're moving in the right direction. Yeah, there was not a bunch of rioting. Everything was calm today. Yeah, I felt the calm.
Yeah.
Whether you liked it or not, I understand there's people that are upset.
Yeah.
You know what? At the same time, if you're that disappointed, there's a lot that's going to disappoint you in life. I'm sorry. If you're staying home and taking a mental health day and crying because your presidential candidate didn't win, which is going to be out of office in 4 years, who's literally just a picture for the people in the background doing the work.
A professional stopgap.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's also, we talked about it before, it's like Congress is the
moving force of how you get your laws passed.
If you're going to hold people responsible for like fucking shit up, I mean, usually it's not the president, it's Congress.
It's Congress. So that being said, I understand that mental health is real. I get that, and I don't want anybody to harm themselves, but the fact that people are posting crisis hotlines and we're all gonna die.
World of safe spaces, man.
That women have pretty much ceased to exist and all rights are out the window.
Free speech.
I'm going to make the argument.
They can say that. They can do that, and I'm just saying that if you're in that headspace, I hope you get help because it's absolutely not that serious. The world is still going to turn. 4 years from now, you're going to find a new person you like. And back them.
Dude, there's a lot of people that suffer from main character syndrome, dude.
I think it's more TDS.
But I'm going to throw a wrench in your gears because Trump derangement syndrome, I get it. But
I think it's real.
I don't think that Trump derangement syndrome is only isolated to people that are against Trump.
Agreed.
I think Trump derangement syndrome applies to people that are pro-Trump as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
If you blend your president's face with your religious deity's face...
Or put him
or tattoo it on you,
put him on like a football player's body, showing him.
Tattoos that person on your body forever and stuff.
Weird.
But you talked about this satire, and this is the last thing I want to touch on.
All right.
A buddy sent me over a Facebook message from a business from back home.
Okay.
Now this is a wine bar. They posted 12. They were closed today because they felt it was important to give their employees a mental health day to scream and cry.
Okay.
Now this is a wine bar back from where I'm from.
I'm a conservative. Do I not get the day off?
Apparently not. I mean, doesn't matter who wins. I don't get.
If you were a conservative and you didn't like the stimulus package, did you get that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same argument.
Yeah, I totally agree with it.
So I'm not going to name these people. I just want to. They posted 12 bullet points. So that their top header was, "Today we will be closed for various and obvious reasons for our staff's mental health." They put 12 bullet points. I picked a couple of them out. 2, if you know someone that's pregnant and they don't wish to be, they were nauseous from bad food. Basically saying we can no longer talk about pregnancies and who doesn't.
Oh God.
So they were nauseous from takeout. That's it. Bullet point number 3. If you know someone queer or trans, no, you don't. They were straight the whole time. Now, this is a business posting this on their business page. And this comes into the... I read through it. I'm like, is this satire?
Again,
or is this
some mega... Is this some fucking mega troll that is trying to like fuck with everybody?
Right?
FIFO.
Yeah, no shit,
As the
dude.
kids say,
it gets better. Bullet point number 4.
No shit.
If you menstruate...
Oh, God.
Track your cycle manually.
Oh, yeah.
Do not let people know about it.
No period apps. No app trackers like period tracker apps.
Nope.
Yeah.
Like, how batshit do you have to be to think that people are tracking your cycle?
Hold on. If there are apps, And those apps, apps of fucking here.
They sell your data.
They will sell your data.
That's it.
I get that.
That's this argument that I get into with my in-laws because
but they're not coming to round you up through it.
Yeah, that my point was like my in-laws. They're convinced that the online like cookies and tracking. Mm-hmm. They're convinced that the data points that are being collected like identify them by like name and address.
You should tell them there's a miniature gnome in their TV that listens to everything.
No, you wouldn't. They'll probably agree. They'll probably.
And then when they go, Alexa, tell me about. You're like, there's that gnome again.
So number 6,
always listening.
Download all media to external hard drives that cannot be erased.
Okay, I don't know how that plays into. I can make an argument for that's more of an economic argument or
if you're getting into the technological
commodities argument
that you just hit me with there, you got to be real good at the internet to be off the internet now.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Real good at the internet.
And let me point something out. Your external hard drive still has to be plugged into your computer, just like an internal hard drive, to get the info back and forth.
No. There are ways to keep a computer offline, but you are talking about being good at what you do.
Correct.
You aren't.
And somebody reading this on Facebook about a wine bar is not that person.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You may be that person, but you're not the majority. Number 7, if you no longer wish to be pregnant, tell no one. And tell everyone you're going to visit a friend out of state.
Yeah. I mean, it's really difficult to talk about a lot of this stuff because, I mean, I live in Missouri. So, I mean, we just codified women's reproductive rights. So,
which people are still angry about, but literally they took a ruling and made it law.
People are angry on that on both sides, as I pointed out, which is the craziest to me.
Hey, hold on. This goes right back to what
both sides are mad.
This goes on to what you actually said that I was right about before, which nobody ever says I'm
Clicks.
right. My wife never says I'm right.
Well,
which was that
she's probably right.
Which was that here's argument for A. Okay. B is going to read that as uncharitably as possible. Mm-hmm. They are going to make the worst fucking case, worst bad faith interpretation, and they know. And the worst part is they know that's what you mean. You could come out and say, I don't mean that. I literally explicitly mean this. No, he doesn't. You're trusting him. But it goes vice versa.
Well, look at Buckner. You can literally read his. Yeah. It's there, all in words. You can read it for yourself.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with his message or not.
Yeah.
It was so misconstrued.
It's a great clip, though. I mean, it's a great clip.
It's a clip.
I don't like clips, but
just clicks.
Number 9,
clicks, dog.
Delete Twitter.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This is on their business page saying why they're off today and giving people advice what to do. 11. I picked out a couple. Didn't you
say there were 2?
Yeah, I thought
it said 12.
No, I thought you said he picked out a couple.
I picked out a couple, which
how many are in your fucking relationship right now?
Well, there's 12, and I'm on 11 that I've picked out.
He's picked up half.
You just pick up one per day at Christmas?
Pretty much.
He picked up half of them.
Stack up on meds and vaccines.
Okay.
I mean, that's not a bad thing.
Are we to your partridge in a pear tree
and
now?
12.
No, Jesus.
It's okay to feel there's no hope. Lastly, if you don't understand why we are scared, we will not explain it to you.
They need to stop reading Nietzsche or stop reading nihilists.
I shit you not. This is a real business post from my hometown on their main page for Facebook.
People are going to be searching that if anybody listens.
Just so you're on the same page here, I want to tell you what's going to happen. I want to explain what's going to happen. They're going to have a small shift in audience that is going to see all of this, react to it, and they're going to have a small pivot. They're going to get this much more of one side and this much less of the other. And the truth is, when you Google it and you're coming in and you see, oh, they've got good reviews, I'm going to pop in there because you're not going to read the reviews. You're going to look at the fucking stars. Do they allow dogs? Do they have kids' food? And you're going to go there. And the thing is, you're probably going to encounter people that don't fucking vote like you, that you don't talk politics with and have a great time.
Absolutely.
Around other people.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
So shut the fuck up on social media and just understand. We all have to move forward.
Yeah, no,
Normally, I don't agree with him, but I can't argue with him this time.
I like what you're. Do just
You are 100% correct.
Carry
So that
on,
was
man.
that was Kenzie's final thought, Brian.
No, that's not my final thought. I got two final
Oh, he's got
thoughts.
two, motherfucker.
Let's go quick.
Okay, number
Yeah, time
one, I
crunch.
think you could probably get your mom in time by now to get you a Chiefs jersey for Christmas.
That's a good
Prime's
point.
usually good for 2 days, even if it's a knockoff. But we'll get you a real jersey for Christmas.
Fair enough.
Don't go cheap.
I'll just wear my Luka Doncic.
There you go.
Second,
Fair enough.
and this is a bold statement, and I know it's not 100% because there's never an infinite, there's never
No.
a perfect. But
Yeah.
I would
You
say,
said it earlier. You cannot please everybody.
Here's my challenge. Regardless of what happened yesterday
Not
and where
irregardless.
we're at, not irregardless, regardless of that, anyways,
say it.
bullshit. We can probably, as a majority, all agree we are not pleased with who was put up in 2024 for our main contending votes. And what we would like
Okay.
as American people are better fucking options in 2028.
It's more frightening that there's a huge contingent of people that didn't think that. That's what scares me more.
I think they did.
agree.
Well, I mean, there's a small percentage.
Man,
You want to know what I wanted to know?
It's all a bubble, right? I
Okay,
mean,
here's my small third
It is.
question for anyone at the table. Did anyone celebrate the victory?
no.
Okay, and the reason that I
wasn't up at 3
say
o'clock
this
in the morning,
struggles
it's
is
true.
because we hear so hard about the divisive left and right in the media, and everything we see on Facebook and everything we see is left and right?
Yep.
Nobody is celebrating today because nobody fucking liked them except for a few. A very select.
A lot of people celebrate. Oh, dude, party voters, like party line voters, celebrate.
Yeah.
When I'm saying
Always
celebrate,
There was a
Trumpers
hard
celebrate.
red wave that came through
There's a lot of people that celebrated.
Fucking
I'm not
tsunami.
detracting, but the people that we hang out with, the people that we talk with, the
Okay,
people, the
yeah.
normal people of life.
Yeah.
3 guy normal people.
I mean, I got a few woohoo, but like text messages,
Yeah.
but nobody's
Gloating.
calling like, oh, I told. No, it just
Told you, I'm gonna wear my gold sneakers
And-
today.
And let me ask you this: if you had the woohoos and you really talked to them and you sat down and they sat in this chair,
Oh yeah.
they'd probably go, "Yeah, I mean, he's really not great, but."
Do you see? I know. A lot
I
of people
disagree
that,
with
I
that.
know a lot of
people.
people that think he's fucking God, man.
Okay.
And I know again.
I'll take my takeaway
So,
to be wrong, but
hey.
I will say I'll leave it at this: your mom can still get you a Chiefs jersey in time for Christmas.
You're feeding.
Fair enough.
You're feeding into my final thought. Okay, which
Perfect.
is and it's it is what it is. It's really what I found to be interesting, and I'm gonna make my pitch for this idea, and I'm gonna use the empirical data of who appears to have won the election. It appears that Donald Trump won the election. Kamala Harris conceded the election this afternoon. Okay, so we know that, and what the point of the observation that I'm going to point out is more about not just the one post that I thought was mega satire or just stupidity, but it's more of a collective idea of all these posts in a row. Okay, and what really killed me, and it just broke my logic circuit in my brain, was that it really seemed like the majority of people. And again, it's a social media bubble. That's the idea. Is those people that most of their political ideologies or ideas or debate it with anybody is all done online, Twitter, Facebook, whatever.
Echo chambers.
Yeah, echo chambers, confirmation bias bubbles, right?
Absolutely.
So, and what just blew my logical circuit was that I know smart people, critical thinker people, who are distraught today. And what makes them distraught, I mean, people would say that it's because Trump won, and there's a fine argument for that. It could be, that's definitely a contributing factor.
Yes, that's the baseline.
But what I think is more so and more shocking and jarring, it's a psychological thought, which is that bubble has been so wide and strong and confirming their bias so much, they have a really, really hard time understanding that there are real people that live in the community around them that don't give a shit about social media and don't give a flying fuck about performative virtue, trying to make themselves sound like this great liberal thinker. And it just kills me. This is why I hate this. I made a comment, no more social media. That's why I made the comment. is because it forms people's opinions so solidly that they can't understand that there are literally people that they interact with every day and are friendly with every day that don't think the exact same way they do.
Well, I
it's
guess
bad. Like that's fucking bad, dude.
You're absolutely right. And the thing is, what's sad is they're not understanding that the people that they don't agree with, the people they're mad at, the people they're upset about, are literally going out. And I'm blessed. I'm not in this situation. I don't think you guys are, and we're all blessed to be here.
Yeah.
But there's literally people who are like, I can't do this. I can't feed my family.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The average, they even said it in the highly biased NBC, said the average American household is spending $1,200 more a month
on groceries,
on necessities.
Yeah, food.
That's how they put it.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, that's close to 15,000. We're just going to round up.
Yeah.
15,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So $15,000. Maybe, just maybe, people don't care who it is. They're just grasping at something that was better before.
Well, you can't deny that if you're making all these grievance claims, and I mean grievance claims in the most broad term, you can only make the grievance claims because you have some sort of privilege.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, I could start a fucking firestorm with examples, but the point is, everybody that's complaining about something, they're complaining about it from a place of privilege. And I think that's what wears people out a lot with social justice warrior topics.
I think people don't understand is that dude.
You're at a 4-year university. Your tuition is most likely paid for. You're in a very, very safe place. There are security on campus. Nothing is happening that's endangering your life.
Bad things do happen still.
So that's a position of privilege, though.
That is.
And that's when you start to create these things that you normally would never complain about.
Yeah.
And you can only complain about them when you're not in the position that you just specified. If I can't feed my fucking family, I could give two shits less about some performative virtue signaling social justice warrior thing. I'm more worried about feeding my family.
So, and another thing is you
or my dogs or my partner or whatever it is, dude.
You mentioned privilege, and a lot of people like to use race in that. Sure, I honestly don't see race and privilege a thing. I understand there's some inherent issues and stuff. We can go way back. The privilege comes from money. Doesn't matter what color you are. If you have money, you have privilege. It
seems to be like
which
the great privilege
gives you that little high hill to stand on and bark orders and talk down to everybody else because you're not experiencing what 95% of the other people down here are experiencing.
But don't you think that everybody's like the main player in their game? Right. So it's really hard to identify. Like if just for instance, if either of you guys are having financial hardships, you mask it really well when we're talking socially.
Yeah.
And I may fly off the cuff and say shit that's completely insensitive and may piss you off or may hurt your feelings in some way. But the thing is, like, the only reason it's just hard to get at with people when you have things. It's really, really difficult to understand that everybody is living. Well, I mean, it's just kind of the thick skin, like toughen up, like move on, fuck around, just do it, because everybody's fighting their own fucking dragon. Everybody's got their own bullshit in their life. Everybody is struggling through something. And we could all be in the exact same place financially with our families. And you know what? We're all going to have different issues. We're all going to have like elderly parents we have to take care of. We could have substance abuse in our family. It's innumerable things. And they're all hard to deal with. And it's one of these things where we all want to feel like we're fucking special. And the thing is, nobody's really fucking special.
I mean, technically, on paper, I'm from a broken home and everything, but I've never adopted that mentality or anything.
Just move on,
that victim mentality. So my final thought is
takeaway.
Yeah, it's still the takeaway.
I fed it. It's my fault.
My final thought is I literally feel like today, hopefully, the winners, they took it with a little bit of pride, and it wasn't like I'm sure there's a lot of gloating out there and stuff, but I'm not seeing it.
They're graceful. I mean,
it's been fairly graceful. The losers, where I didn't expect to see it, has been fairly graceful. Mm-hmm. I just think that it's finally this chaotic, like you brought up COVID, everything that has been tied to the president-elect.
The weight is lifted, my friend.
It's coming to an end either way, and I think we're all in the same shit.
I'd rather see people post about needing a mental health day than posting about election fraud, which I think is more damning to American people. And I say that because if we lose faith in our electorate, if we
election system,
the truth of the matter is that's a real thought process of mine in a general geopolitical sense.
Well, that's why I'm kind of glad that we're away from COVID and we're away from like that heavy paranoia about it, because that didn't help, dude. That didn't help. No. And I give everybody grace for that, because I had days where fucking it's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I'm stir crazy. I'm watching all this doom and gloom shit on television about, Fauci and
I got lucky. I was a essential, so I got out of the house every day.
Yeah, I was
with
too.
a free pass.
I was too. But.
No offense, but I think
I work in healthcare.
A lot of people were essential.
Right.
A lot of people were essential.
So for my final thought, we're all on the same ship. Like, this is not the end of the world. He can't just show up on the scene and be like, we're removing everybody's rights.
Sun's going to come up tomorrow, man.
Sun's going to come up tomorrow. Whether you like him or not, 4 years from now, it's going to be an end of an era. It's going to be done, over with, and we're going to be arguing about two new people.
Yep.
And that's just how it works.
And if any good can come of what we have right now, maybe Elon Musk can expedite and fix the DMV next. Oh, shit. Because fuck me, that thing's still too long.
I just love that.
I think we get on Mars before he fixes the DMV.
They're talking about him being in charge of this, the DOG, the Doge.
Oh.
Department of Government Efficiency, like Doge. Come on, Dogecoin. Jesus Christ, man.
All right.
Guy's a troll. I love his trolling.
He's a good troll.